Alright, let's go live! Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today we are back and we are beginning a new season, a new campaign of Call of Cthulhu. I'm very excited, these guys are nervous. Let's go around, who are we playing? And let's find out a little bit about your guys' characters. Let's start up top with Redundant. How's it going, man?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. Going pretty well. I will be playing a young aristocrat called Harvey Hiddleston. Basically, his father is a very, very, very wealthy man. And, however, he's not staying home. He wants to leave home for certain reasons. He's not particularly happy with his current life, so he wants to...
Excellent. Cool. I'm sure we'll discover more about that soon. Fantastic. We've got Greg back today. How's it going, Greg? Oh, you, there you go. You're muted on Zoom. Let me unmute you. There you
go. Okay, thank you so much.
No,
I am doing well. Let's see. I'm going to be playing Herbert Patterson. He is a second lieutenant from the 1st U.S. Volunteer Cavalry Regiment, otherwise known as the Rough Riders. He is a veteran of the Spanish-American War, and this is his first time in London or the continent proper.
Fantastic. We have Lindy back today. How's it going, Lindy?
Doing pretty spiffy. I am going to be playing Nancy McDrew, a Scottish girl who's been living in London for a bit, and is a private investigator who wants to eventually join Scotland Yard.
Nice, cool. And we have Haley back today. How's it going, Haley?
Great, as always.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so today I am playing Evelyn Goodwin, a Texan-born, lovely little librarian lady, now recently moved to London, and it's going on a train ride.
Going on a train ride.
Toot toot.
I like trains. What can I say? Oh,
man. Trains.
Fantastic. So, yes, our adventurers are going to be starting in London today. It's 1923 is the year, and currently things are going very well for our characters. Nothing could ever go wrong with our characters. And of course, we have a character sheet online in case you guys want to look them up, learn a bit more about these characters. And of course, our cast is there. So before we dive into the game, remind you guys, follow, retweet, subscribe. That's how we get viewer decisions where you guys get to affect the game. And of course, you can donate to affect the game or cheer as well if you so desire. So, yeah, other than that, without any further ado, I will disclaim, I tend not to play particularly rules heavy with Call of Cthulhu, similarly to Ben, so don't worry too much about roles, not about story, narrative, and when it comes to roles, we'll start making stuff up if we need to. Other than that, though, yeah, let's dive into our adventure today. So, the group of you are in London. You currently may have associations with one another, but you don't necessarily need to know one another as we begin today's campaign. So I think we have a couple of connections with our characters already, and I think Harvey and Nancy know one another. So do you want to discuss that relationship a little bit as we dive in here? How does Harvey know Nancy, I guess?
Harvey has retained Nancy's services to send letters secretively and to keep track of a certain nurse in France that Harvey is quite fond of. Unfortunately for Harvey, she is of working class. And in the 1920s, a person from the upper class family falling for a working class gal was very frowned upon. And Nancy was very kindly keeping in track and, sending letters back and forth. But we've lost track of her. So I think we're going to go on a trip to see if we can find her.
All right, fantastic. So you guys know each other. I don't think the other characters know each other yet, which is fine, because each of you have been invited to an event with an acquaintance of yours, and while you're in London, it would seem fit to go to this event. It's the annual Challenger Foundation Lecture and Banquet, and the chap who has invited you is one Professor A.J. Smith. Smith is known for his investigations into the strange, and he's known as a debunker of myths and fantasies. So at this time, knowledge on like ghosts and the other is quite limited, as it is today, I'm sure. But AJ Smith is well known for holding interesting lectures on how to debunk these myths and, or in fact, provide evidence for them. So it's sure to be quite an interesting event at the very least. And he is a PhD student, 54, a heavy-set Englishman and scholar who's devoted his entire life to research. He's famed for his great whiskers and curling mustache. And so you might have read of him in the paper, and throughout your various own either investigations, research, have been invited here. So Evelyn, as a librarian of some renown, has been invited by Professor Smith, who's recently read one of her papers on whatever Evelyn's been writing about. Most likely something of the odd, of the strange, which is a little bit different from what the usual London scholar in 23 would be writing about. Nancy's a private investigator, so Nancy's come across stories of bizarre, odd things, ghost stories and the like. And she's got, some amount of respect within London as a private investigator, so you've been invited, and Harvey is tagging along, I guess. And as for Pat, you've also received an invitation from Mr. Smith. You don't know him very well, as you're first here in the country, but he's one of your few contacts within England. And he says he is interested in your knowledge of things after your experiences within the war. And so he seems to be interested not only in the strange, but human psychology. So that's where you guys have been invited to today, the Challenger Foundation Lecture and Banquet. So that's where we're going to be kicking off today. It's this big lecture centre within the heart of London, and the group of you are going to be arriving at a fairly similar time. It's a do for all sorts of scholarly types to attend, and so it's quite a well-dressed event. There are people who are wearing suits, ties, and the like as they're attending, and it seems to be quite, not necessarily aristocracy, but more upper-class people who would be attending this. The lower classes probably have very little interest or haven't been invited to such an event. The Challenger Lecture Theatre is this huge domed building, and people are being ushered in currently. So we're going to start with Harvey and Nancy. So let's just describe our characters real quick as we see them. So Harvey, what do you look like?
Well, Harvey is he's kind of a slim gentleman. Mm-hmm. He has very, very tidy dark brown hair. He has kind of like navy blue eyes. He's clean shaven, unlike me. He's obviously he's got full dressed to the nines because he is of the aristocracy, and if they are going out, he must be looking his sharpest. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he kind of basically just looks like a young, kind of upper class gentleman, basically.
Fantastic. What about Nancy?
Nancy, she's pretty petite. She's got big curly red hair. Not really quite in fashion, because she can't do a lot with it. But green eyes, pale skin, freckles, and she's dressed a lot like this, which is, pretty much just a cute little vest, blouse, skirt. Yeah, fairly simple. She has a pipe with her.
Okay, cool. So you're being ushered in, and you can tell that the kind of clientele here are a sort of gentlemen who are of impeccable sound mind and credentials that are being kind of ushered in. You're invited by the attendant on the door, who sees your invitation and politely bows to you. And says, if you'd like to follow us into the lecture lounge, and you can be seated there. If you require cigars or drinks... Then,
that'd be great. I'd love a whiskey and a cigar, if you don't mind.
Very well, of course. And he immediately sees to your needs. Does Harvey need anything to sit down? Everyone's smoking in here and drinking.
No, I've brought my own tobacco. Thank you very much. But a cognac would go.
Of course, yes.
Thank you.
He goes to fetch your drinks, and you enter into the small auditorium for perhaps 100 or so guests. So this is quite an elite lecture which you're attending here. There's a stage down below, and everyone. The room is filled with smoke and the idle chatter of scholars as you go and take your seat. And it's quite dark room. Next to arrive is Evelyn. So what does Evelyn look like?
Evelyn is also a very petite woman. She's not very tall. She's hazel eyes. She's like light brown hair, all typically very up, but it's kind of messy. It's just typically she's very formal like, but unkempt at the same time. It's just kind of loose from stress, from rushing. She's typically a late person. But yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you arrive and you wait in line, and the guy on the door looks at you and kind of looks you up and down a little bit and says, "Do you have an invitation, my lady?"
Oh, yes. I already messed up my accent.
Does it?
Here.
He looks at it with some surprise. Excellent. Would you be requiring any cigars, cigarettes, or a drink, perhaps?
No, it's fine. Thank you. She scurries in.
Very well. Your seat is in row C, and he directs you to the seats, which are, of course, next to Harvey and Nancy. So you see this slim, well-dressed gentleman and Nancy, who's like, imagining downing a whiskey right now.
Oh yeah, she's like, could you bring me another one of these, lad? I think that'd be great.
Yes, of course. He goes back, and so Evelyn, you can take a seat next to Liz too. Oh, you're muted, Haley.
She'll sit kind of like reserved to herself. She has like a notebook for notes and stuff, but she's very
head down
to herself.
Down it. Very English. Last to arrive on the scene is Herb. So what does Pat look like?
Pat is 5'10". He is always unkept, much the opposite of Harvey. He's got at least 3 days beard growth. His hair has gone gray. It is cut short. His beard has maintained a little bit of the salt and pepper. He does wear a suit, but it is his only suit, and it is threadbare. And he also wears what is loosely referred to as a cowboy hat, but is in fact his cavalry hat from when he rode with the Rough Riders.
Nice. Cool. So the gentleman on the door with his suit and impeccably placed on bow tie looks you up and down with some surprise and says, you must be the gentleman Mr. Smith spoke of.
Yes, I'm here to see the professor.
Fantastic. Please do come in. Would you be requiring any cigars, cigarettes, a drink perhaps?
I have my own. A beer, a cold beer.
Yes, I'm sure I could procure such a beverage for you. You are in row C, near the front.
Thank you.
He directs you to your seat, which is so you have to go past Harvey, Nancy, and Evelyn to get to your seat. So you have to do the awkward thing where you shuffle through the cinema rows.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Stand up.
Sorry.
And pass through.
It's all right. Just have a seat.
He touches his hat each time he goes by. Excuse me. Pardon me. And then takes it off.
So the group of you sit down and wait for a couple of minutes for the lecture to begin. You see that Dr. Smith is coming onto the stage after a few minutes' time to begin his lecture. He's got the same huge whiskers and moustache as you remembered, and quite heavy set, wearing a full suit, and he's got a top hat on currently as well, and he is smoking all the way throughout his lecture that he's about to begin whilst he's on the stage. There's a small, polite round of applause as he enters on. You know that there are going to be several guest speakers tonight. Mr. Smith is just one of them, and they are up for awards. So essentially, the most credible and interesting theory will win a small award from the Challenger Foundation. So he starts by just smiling at the crowd, politely waiting for the applause to die down. And he begins by saying, my lecture today is going to be on poltergeists, ghosts, and other apparitions. And there's a small little ooh from the crowd, murmur of interesting. You see the judges at the front beginning to make a couple of notes. And he says, money is not usually the motive for the misrepresentation of impossible powers or events. More usual is a chance for individual notice or recognition of personal qualities, preservation or defense of spiritual belief, or social benefit to the community. As many definitions, actually, as there are individuals. There proves to be, however, categories of repetitious phenomenon offering no simple elucidation. I refer to the poltergeist, to the traveler who suddenly finds himself dozens or thousands of miles or years from where he stood moments before, and I refer to the haunting. My presentation tonight concerns the last. I say haunting, and not ghost or spirit, because alone of such phenomena, haunters can be buildings, lanterns, coaches, and swords, and so on, as well as men, women, dogs, bears, processions, and even enemies. Worldwide, the store of casual antidotes concerning haunters is enormous. And I say phenomena because the hauntings are not linked with the specific observers, and the haunting presumably occurs with or without witnesses, as we shall see. Thus, perception of such event is secondary to the event itself. The essential characteristics of haunters are simple. The person or thing must have existed, must have disappeared in some sense, and then must reappear once or many times. The location of the phenomenon may be partial or insubstantial, or may be as solid and real-seeming as any member of tonight's illustrious gathering. There's a small murmur of, applause and a little chuckle of laughter. We might be poltergeist. How fantastic. And he says, no other conditions are needed. I will now discuss 3 hauntings in detail. A Breton fishing boat, a Norwegian woman, and a London hansom cab. And he projects slides of each event onto a projector. He is able to demonstrate 3 characteristics shared by each 3 of these so-called hauntings. You notice that the 3 apparitions that he points to on the map which is located do not coalesce from points, as most tales describe, but slowly emerge whole from invisible planes, as if passing through what Smith terms the curtains of perception. Each of these apparitions is semi-transparent, and he traces a clear passage of a wave through the fishing boat, for instance, and shows that the image causes no froth or ripples. It does not resist the water. In other slides, the audience sees the second or third photographers through the image of the apparition. You see that these apparitions of men glow appreciably, as Smith demonstrates by isolating the reflections from nearby objects. He samples attributes part of the glow to ionization, but also not at all. Carefully indexing of the reflections indicates that the level of ionization varied randomly during each event. And they are those sort of 3 similarities. And Smith concludes by saying, in the past 30 years, science has begun to learn about that which cannot be seen or normally sensed, and that some behavior on the atomic level is impossible in the greater world, I have come to think that haunting offer clues to so far indefinable ways of arriving at or opening a way into other dimensions. If we are energetic and not a little lucky in our observations, students of paraphysicality may one day be able to move up and down time, or to travel globally with minor effort, or to perceive that which at present lies completely beyond our scenes. Whether that which waits beyond is likeness, or darkness, or simply different, or evoked by our unstated desires, remains the supreme question which, for the present, each must answer for himself. And there is a big round of applause as Dr. Smith takes a bow, removes the slides from his projection, and the 20-minute or so lecture which he's been making goes into Congress, and people begin to stand, talk amongst themselves, and discuss the lecture which Dr. Smith has just made. He's standing at the front, and some people are coming up to him to ask him questions or to congratulate him on his interesting lecture. And so the four of you guys are seated in row C with several other people chatting around you. And you hear snippets of conversation like, "How ghastly! The man must be completely insane." Are there any comments from our class here?
Yeah, I'm going to lean over to Nancy and go, "Nancy, where have you taken me? Why are we here?"
I heard there was free whiskey, and
Oh.
it's a Tuesday. We didn't really have anything to do, so I think he's talking a bunch of sheep shite. But I could be wrong.
That's definitely.
Everything has a logical explanation.
Yes, definitely. Well, you stay there. I'll grab you another whiskey, a double. Yes.
I thank you.
No problem. And I get up and gonna call over talk to a waiter.
Of course, yeah. He's like, the waiter kind of comes in. He's like, "Are you sure she needs another?"
Oh, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Half her blood, I assume, is already alcohol, so she'll be fine. I'll take a lot more.
We do have limits. Let her know that this is the last one we can serve to her.
Oh, is it? Make it a double. And I kind of make sure I'd give him some money, like a tip.
Okay,
and I'll have another brandy.
Nice. He pours them for you. And you see Dr. Smith with big whiskers kind of calling away several of his fans or people that are talking to him. And he calls up into the auditorium where you guys are and says, "Evelyn, is that you, Miss Evelyn? Pat, it's a bit dark out. Come on down."
She would stand up, kind of like grab her stuff and walk over there.
Yeah, and he also called, "Nancy, come on."
I'm coming over there. Hold your horses. That's Mac through.
He says, "Careful on the way down. Looks like we had a few too many."
No more for her.
I assume I hand Nancy. Well, seems like you're wanted. Go on, I'll be here.
All right, I'll be back.
You did call Pat down, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. He gets up and moves on down.
Fantastic. As Nancy is coming down, says, "Bring the young gentleman with you. I want to see who your new man is around town. What?
Hey, how do we get your arse down here?
Oh, fine. I head down.
I imagine he saunters.
Yes.
So, Mr. Smith says, "So, what did you all think about my lecture?"
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Very captivating. I didn't know half the things you were talking about.
I didn't fall asleep at all.
Well, that is testament to the incredulity of the information which I presented, I'm sure.
It certainly was incredulous.
Pat steps forward and kind of makes sure everybody's finished their conversation and leans in a little bit to the professor, and he says, "I was interested in what you said about the spatial and the temporal displacement. Does that mean that somebody could potentially move through time while they were living to a point when they weren't?"
That is my belief, yes. The idea of the poltergeist is one where you were in one place one moment in time, and you could move through it, and you could be there in some form of spectre or apparition. My studies have been met with much, well, many have looked to disclaim my theories, as well they should. But I believe that there is strong evidence to suggest that this could be possible by some.
I agree. Is there a way for these poltergeists to touch something tangible,
Yes.
interact with the physical world?
It is my belief that a poltergeist would be able to interact with a physical object within our world, or perhaps others as well.
Would it leave behind anything like fingerprints or sweat or something like that?
There are no... I have no evidence to support such a theory, but it is my belief that there would be some form of imprint, perhaps only on the atomic level, which would be left behind by a poltergeist. As I mentioned, the levels of ionization in the area seem random after a poltergeist has occurred, so perhaps something that we can't truly track as of yet. I tell you what, though, Miss Evelyn, as a scholar of the arts, what did you think of my theories?
Well, I think that your studies are always very intellectual and interesting to hear. I, however, was not pleased with some of the comments that were made about you, but that's for non-believers.
Well, what can I say, my dear? There are many who believe that science should not be able to discredit what we currently believe in our society. For whatever religious beliefs that our culture holds, the theorems of poltergeist are not seen as, well, sanctified. And for that I understand, but as a man of science, I must delve deeper. I must confess, I did not simply draw you all here to ask you to inflate my ego. There is something I would like for you to help me with. An area of study which I found particularly interesting to do with my current theorems. Perhaps you could agree to meet me tomorrow night at my house, and we could talk more, if you would be interested. Of course, this would be a paid piece of research.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what I can do to help. Nancy, of course, but I'm not entirely sure what I could do to assist you.
Well, listen, my good man. We all know that these days in London, aristocracy opens doors. The research I'm asking you to look into will require certain doors to be opened.
And he turns to Nancy to see if...
He's pretty good at opening doors. He opened the one for me just like half an hour ago.
I assume that means yes, she wants me to come.
You're alright, Harvey. That'd be great.
Yes.
Super good at opening doors.
And he says,
It's the gentlemanly thing to do.
it really is. He says,
Whiskey's already talking.
he says, what about you, Pat? Are you up to it?
I was sent here to do something, and it looks like you're the first leg of the journey. So yeah.
And, Miss Evelyn.
Well, of course, of course, Miss Professor Smith. I don't know what he is.
Doctor, I guess doctor or
Dr.
professor.
Mr. something.
Doctor, Professor.
Sir Smith.
Probably both.
Yeah, it says, fantastic. And then I tell you what, go back to wherever it is you're staying and meet me tomorrow night. And, yes, I will see you then. I'll give you my address. And he writes it down on a piece of paper, hands it to each of you guys so you have his address if you don't already. And he says, tomorrow, 7 sharpish, I'll be cooking. A novel idea.
Very well. Very well. Thank you so much for your lecture.
Make sure to come hungry then.
Yes.
Okay, so
Well, one question: would
yeah.
Pat have a chance to slip something to the doctor or the professor?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He would like to give him the letter that he had received that started his journey, and ask him if there was any way he could examine it for the ionization that he had talked about earlier.
Yeah, he takes a look at it covertly, and as the others are, leaving or gone, he says, "This is most interesting. Yes, I will study it today and tomorrow, and I will hopefully have some results for you as we re-adjourn in the evening."
Much obliged, Professor.
He kind of rolls it up and puts it in his pocket, and good man, and he goes to socialize with the other members of the committee. So the group of you are returning to wherever it is you're staying. If you have lodgings here, or perhaps a hotel that you guys are staying at, I know Evelyn has a house in London. So you guys will head off back to your apartments, or anything else that you guys want to do in the evening. Just let me know. So we're going to bring in our first viewer decision, and underneath this line here in the chat, I want you guys... Oh yeah, I want you guys to tell me a clue that... Whoa, I don't know if I can tell what players this one. Okay, let me just say it on stream. I'll mute myself on Zoom. A clue that they...
As if we couldn't just, look at the stream real quick.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I trust you, Haley. I trust you. And
Is that really the wisest thing for you to do?
You will be punished terribly if...
No.
Alright,
I mute the stream. It's cool.
I want you guys to tell me one clue they
I
find
can do that.
on the
You're
body
not going to type
of
it out,
Professor
are you-
Smith.
You will.
No, I'm just saying it on the stream.
Oh, good.
So stream
Okay.
people that heard me. A clue they find on the
Good,
body of
good.
Professor Smith. So, fantastic. So the group of you return to your lodgings, and it becomes the next morning. And does anyone wants to do anything overnight?
Make sure that Nancy gets home. I'll probably have my driver take her home.
Oh, your driver. Okay.
Well, yeah, I've got a driver.
Oh, it's so fancy.
You want to know what my credit rating is? It's 90.
Wow. You
Yeah.
Make me
are
feel
rich,
poor.
Yeah, I am. The aristocracy has benefits.
I am being friends with the aristocracy. Has it
Stupid middle class.
My credit rating's only 40.
Mine's 10.
Oh,
22.
man.
Wow.
I'm not the lowest.
Impressive. So, the group of you return to your homes and lodgings, and the next morning, Evelyn, remind me of the name of your husband.
Wallace.
Wallace. Okay, Wallace.
Wallace.
So Wallace is, pretty mustachioed, and as you come down in the morning, he's reading the paper, and having breakfast and whatnot before he goes off to his office job. And is he American as well, or is he English? Hence why you live here.
He's American as well. We're both from Houston.
Fantastic. Now let me butcher this accent. So he's
This is my tent all along.
Generic American accent, go.
He checks in.
Well, howdy.
Perfect.
He looks, he's reading through the papers, and he's like, "Morning, honey." Looking through.
I'm sorry. Good morning, dear.
He says, "You read the paper?" And kind of turns it over towards you, and you see the headline. And I'm going to show this to the players. Show to everyone. A headline reads, "Man dies 3 times in one night. 3 bodies in hotel. Each man carries the same identity." Show this on the screen for you guys. So, you guys see the handout okay in Roll20?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And each of you guys are going to be reading the paper this morning. So you catch, it's a pretty common thing to be getting your news source from the papers. So you catch Liz's article in the Times this morning. It reads, 3 slain men were discovered last night in a London hotel, each bearing positive identification as Mr. Mehmet Makriat of 3 Brophy Lane, Islington. Each had been stabbed through the heart. Maids at the Chelsea Arms Hotel discovered the remains. The room was also registered in the name of Mr. Makriat. Bona fide papers identify the trios as one man, the Mr. Makriat, who is a Turkish antique and art dealer doing business in the city. The victims bear superficial resemblances, and each had passed as Mr. Makriat since independently arrived in London 3 days ago. Confusingly, the real Mr. Makriat, or at least the man described by neighbouring shopkeepers as Mr. Makriat, cannot be found. Police request that he come forth. The passports of each of these Turkish national record independent worldwide travels for each man over the past 3 years. Inspector Fleming of Scotland Yard is at a loss to describe the meaning of the bizarre mystery, but is eager to converse with any other Mehmet Makriats still living. And so each of you, in your hotel room on your own, or your house somewhere over breakfast, you read the headline in the Times paper today. But you're a mute there, isn't it?
All right.
There you go. So,
No, I hadn't read that.
Yeah, he kind of like turns over towards you and he kind of grunts sort of like, and he heads out to work. So you guys are. We'll go with Evelyn first of all. What does Evelyn do?
She would snip out this article and add it to her notebook. And she would kind of like highlight different important things in it for herself.
Okay, fantastic.
Silly note takers.
Yeah, worth disclaiming that definitely worth taking notes in campaigns like this for when names get forgotten, places, objects, and stuff. Because I'm not allowed to remind you. I can't claim that I wrote Listracam. No, this is the Horror on the Orient Express module. So you take out snippets from this, names of the inspector, Mr. Makriat, the address he's found at Chelsea Arms Hotel, and the address in Islington. So let's go to Nancy. I want to say that Nancy was so drunk that Harvey had to take her back and like put her on the couch for the night.
Got a guest bedroom.
Of course you do. Yeah, of course you do. I forget you're a posh bastard. So so yeah, Harvey, you were the first to read the paper as Nancy is still kind of conked out.
Yes. Oh, well, as I'm at the dining table, reading the paper and having the maid, like, I don't know, pour me some porridge or something. James, who's the butler, I assume. Yeah, James the butler.
Yeah.
James, such an unusual story today. Have you heard anything of this?
The three in one night. Yes, it was rather a mystery. I believe, sir, you attended a lecture on poltergeist last night, no?
Yes, I believe Nancy kind of persuaded me to go. She went for free whiskey. It was a very unusual evening.
That woman does drink like a fish, sir.
Yes, my whiskey stocks are a testament to that, aren't they?
Speaking of which, sir, I've ordered in a new batch and I've hidden it in the basement. Hopefully she won't find this one.
Very good, James. By the way, James, it's almost 8 o'clock. I think it would be time for Nancy to get up. So if you wouldn't mind ringing the gong one more time for the breakfast gong, please.
Of course. And he kind of rings this little ding, and he says, perhaps I should go and awaken her, or perhaps
of course.
Perhaps it would be best if she is very aggressive towards me when I awaken her.
Well, send in one of the maids to help her dress as well.
Yes, sir. I will again reiterate that they have they live in fear of Miss Nancy.
Oh, she's harmless. She's harmless. She'll be fine.
So a maid comes in. It's one of Harvey's girls, and madam, excuse me,
bloody
miss.
hell, that's the wrong accent there. It is. Oh, what the fuck do you want?
Mr. Harvey sent me in, miss, to wake you up. There's
Is it burning already?
yes, miss. It's
Shite.
past 9 a.m. and
Oh,
the,
fine, just get the bloody hell out of here. I'll be there in a minute.
of course, okay. And she heads out, managing to escape any grievous bodily harm, and leave the leaves the room. A couple of minutes later, or perhaps quite a while later, Nancy emerges.
Nancy rolls out, like, straightens up a bit, like, you know, kind of like, hair's fine. And then she walks down to the basement to get a bottle of whiskey.
She knows. She knows.
She can smell it out, probably.
She's got like an acute hearing, like she can't hear anything, but when someone says whiskey, it's like,
Yeah.
on the way back up, she passes the butler. She's like, you left your shopping receipt on the side table the other day.
in the future, I will burn
Yes, up the challenge rating a bit, make life more exciting.
So,
Morning, Harvey.
Morning, Nancy. Have you? Is that a bottle?
What else am I supposed to drink with breakfast?
Tea, coffee.
Some coffee be
Orange
great.
juice?
Whiskey goes great with coffee.
Well, at least eat something. Can't imagine you had much to eat last night.
No,
Oh, by the way, Nancy, have you seen this? And I pass her the Times.
Oh, no, I just woke up. Let me read this.
Yes,
Oh, that Inspector Fleming of Scotland Yard, he's a bastard, he is. He just keeps denying my applications just because I'm a woman. Can you believe that?
well, yes, I can actually, but you know, just give me. I mean, I've told you before. I can see if I can have some sway down. Well, maybe not my father. May have some sway down there.
That'd be great. I'm
Okay.
twice the detective he is. It's just-
Sir, Mr. Harvey, I know
Yes.
you are not one wanting to read any other such article of news other than the Times, but there has been an interesting article drawn to my attention by the Maid in the Scoop, which is today's equivalent of like the Daily Mail, the Daily Star. It's sort of like celebrity gossip.
Crap.
Yeah, it's a bunch of shit.
I bet. What is the Scoop?
Sir, it is a salacious newspaper for the lower classes.
Oh.
It's cheaper than the Times. We typically get that one instead.
Oh, right. Oh, well, very well. I suppose we're trying new things today. Go ahead. What story?
Well, sir, it is a little worrying. I believe you attended the lecture of this professor last night,
yes.
For the players. Article reads in the Scoop: Professor's home burns. Fears for his safety. Professor Julius Arthur Smith, a figure well known in academia, was sought today following the burning of his home under mysterious circumstances. Missing also is Dr. Smith's manservant, one James Beddoes. Witnesses saw a man resembling Beddoes run from the house just before the fire broke out. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Dr. Smith or Beddoes is requested to contact Detective Sergeant Rigby at Scotland Yard's Arson Division. I believe
Rigby.
yeah. Nancy probably knows Rigby, yeah. Or at least of Rigby.
Yeah, he's not quite the little shite that Fleming is, but he's alright.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's terrible news. That's terrible. Did it say the address of what his? No, it didn't. It didn't say his address. So I'm gonna look at the piece of paper and go. Perhaps this is no longer of use.
I mean, we should go check
James.
it out in case we find any clues.
Well, I suppose we could just stop by there. Yes. James will be taking the car out today, so if you
Of
wouldn't
course. Very good, sir.
Thank you very much.
And
You
she's
guys
going to
are
write
fires
down information on the articles in her little investigator's notebook.
Fantastic. So the two of you are headed out. Let's go to Pat. So Pat, you read the paper to try and get some news, and you know, maybe a couple of newspapers in the hotel are given to you as a courtesy. So you'll read both of these articles as well. The Times on obviously first. So what does Pat make of this?
Well, Pat reads the Times article first, and as soon as he gets to the Chelsea Arms, he immediately looks up, runs over, and opens up the door to his hotel room. And the first person that passes, he says, "What hotel is this?"
The maid comes. It's the Madison.
Good. He closes the door. And then when he goes back through, he reads the rest of it, and if he has the scoop available as one of the preferred papers on hand, as soon as he sees that Smith's house burned down, he immediately opens up the door, and if the maid is still there...
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's still recovering.
Yeah, he says, "Which way to Scotland Yard?"
She's like, I could, that way.
Just point.
she points down to the staircase.
Thank you, much obliged.
Oh man. So yeah, you rush down to head to Scotland Yard. Evelyn, where's Evelyn headed this morning? She's gonna she will read the scoop as well, so you'll hear about the fire.
Okay, yeah, she probably would have like seen it somewhere, like on newsstands or something.
Yeah,
as she was
yeah.
walking by.
Yeah, those paper boys handing out these things, you know, calling out the criers.
She would probably head to Smith's house first of the two things.
Okay. So, Evelyn arrives at the kind of burnt out wreckage of the house. And at the same time, Harvey and Nancy pull up in their car. And I'm imagining James is driving you guys.
Or that, or I can have a driver.
Okay.
Either one.
Yeah, sure.
He has plenty of servants.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
just
it
the
doesn't-
one.
doesn't really
They're all
It's
named
only a
James,
small
though.
Yeah, oh, cool.
It's not my grand estate.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. So you pull up, and there are investigators on the scene. There is investigator Fleming, who's on the scene with his long trench coat and little fedora hat, every part the kind of wannabe badass sort of detective, I guess. And he's got a couple of others around him as well. There is also Sergeant Rigby, who is on the scene as well, the arson detective, and the two of them have got the perimeter walled off with several other police and their cars around, and Rigby is going to be the first person to kind of stop you guys. He flashes his badge as you guys kind of draw up onto the scene together, and says, "Sorry, no more civilians beyond this point, all right?"
Oh, come on, Rigby. You know me. Can't you let us in? Just want to take a look around. You're supposed to have dinner with this fella tonight.
Yeah, he says, well, that makes you potential witnesses, Liz. I'm afraid I can't let you into the scene of the crime.
She
Yes.
just pulls out a bottle from her purse and just...
Do I have to remind you that you are not a serving officer?
She like
Scotland
twitches.
Yard.
She's like, yeah, I don't need any friendly reminders from you.
Yeah. He also is, you know, he puts his little pipe in his mouth and starts smoking away and heads under the kind of tape, and Rigby is left to talk to you. We're going to quickly cut to Pat, who isn't actually far from the address of the burnt down house of Mr. Smith, and so his directions when he's asking around, you know, where's Scotland Yard? How do I get there? Someone says to you on the street as you ask them, says, if you head down that way, but I believe there's been a fire in a house. If you head down that way, you should get to Scotland Yard. The fire is... It's still burning by the looks of things. Terrible.
Much obliged. I follow the smoke.
Yeah. So this trail of smoke leads you to the to finding Harvey, Nancy, and Evelyn. That's kind of burned out, quite large. You know, it's clearly a rich guy, Mr. Smith. His house has been burnt down, and you come along just as Fleming is kind of getting these guys out of the crime scene. So Nancy, Harvey, Pat, and Evelyn are there. You see Rigby, the Headley Arson Department of Scotland Yard, who is a bit of a softer character, and he is Irish, and he's got his kind of notebook and stub out, and he's writing some notes. He casts a kind of apologetic look to Nancy, and is like, I'm sorry about him. You know how he gets.
Hey, I'm just sorry you got to work with him. Like, such a bastard. He's such an arse. I can't stand him.
We're kind of used to that in the arson department. And, I know who you are, Nancy, but who are your friends here?
Oh, this is Harvey. He's one of my latest clients. Well, we were supposed to have dinner with the doctor here this evening, so we saw the fire. I figured I'd come investigate, but it seems y'all are a bit quicker. I slept in a bit.
You mean the whole group of you? We were meant to meet him.
Aye.
A few of us, yes. By the way, sorry, were any bodies recovered?
He kind of gives you a head nod to like come with him a bit further away from Fleming, and says, strictly off the record, of course, but this guy was your friend, you should know. No body has been recovered from the wreckage. We don't think he was in there.
Oh, that's good.
So
that's good.
We don't know where Mr. Smith is. I shouldn't be telling you.
Don't worry. Very discreet. Very discreet.
Can I take your names real quick, just for the record?
Oh, sure. Yes, my name is Harvey Hiddleston.
Harvey Hiddleston. Nancy, of course. Young Missy.
Evelyn Goodwin.
Goodwin. And yourself, sir?
Herbert Patterson.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you happen to know how the fire started?
All I know is that something from reports, first back, and we don't have anything from the lab yet. It was man-made fire. It didn't seem like the kind of fire which originated from like a lamp burning or anything else. It seemed as though something fuel, a chemical, helped assist the fire. And also Mr. Beddoes, the assistant of our good friend Mr. Smith, he was seen running from the place at the time. So that's our best lead right now.
Is this the same guy that drove him last night? That took the professor home?
That's right. Yeah, we believe so.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not talking like Pat. Is the carriage house separate from the main house? Did it suffer from fire damage?
Yeah.
Out of character, did it suffer from fire damage?
It did not. It seemed as though the main house itself burnt, but they managed to get here in time before the flames spread to other buildings.
Okay, so there is a car, but James ran away.
It looks like it. Yeah, didn't take the car.
Have we checked the? Can I go check out the carriage house? I left something with the professor.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
one's looking.
2 minutes. All right.
Yeah, I'll accompany and make sure he doesn't get in any trouble.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So, yeah.
Stay by the car.
So, Herb and Nancy head into the kind of little carriage house where the car is being stored.
Nancy's looking at everything on the way. She's just like, anything. Scraps of fibers, hair, just any clues.
Anything to rub into Fleming's face.
Basically.
Look what I
Yeah.
found.
Look, you insufferable bastard.
Look what you missed. Yeah. All right. Roll me a spot hidden, both of you.
All right.
It's exciting. First roll. Wow! You see into the void, and the void looks back. Holy shit!
Oh, wow.
Boom.
Boom! Indeed. Sweet, fantastic. So
Successes stream.
yeah, you guys are
I
nailing
just
this.
had to roll below a 60.
Yeah,
Winners stream, guys. Winners stream.
yeah. So beginner's luck. It'll all go downhill when you need to roll sanity
Exactly.
checks.
Yep.
So we're
And
like
I'll be
two
the crazy Scots lady.
we're like two Doctor Stranges. We can see through the dimensions.
Yeah,
as we're-
yeah. A 1 is a critical success. You're trying to roll low in Call of Cthulhu, of course. So, Nancy, you're looking around the car, and in the glove compartment of the car, you kind of like crack that open, and there is a letter inside, unopened, addressed to the 4 of you.
Oh. Okay. I take that. Scotland Yard doesn't need to know about that. It's nothing to do with them. Yet.
It's not addressed to them.
Yes.
Exactly, it's not for them. So you don't want to open it right now. You just want to kind of slip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still looking for clues. She can evaluate them afterwards.
Okay, so that's what you see. You, Pat, can see that the car hasn't been used today. Most likely, last time it was used was last night. And other than that, there's usual kind of like bits of car mechanic-y things around in the carriage, but nothing of great importance. Also, in the glove department, worth mentioning, there is a pistol in the compartment.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Never have too many.
Exactly.
He's got like 6 in different spots.
Yeah.
I'll pretend I can see that.
This would go under my hat.
I'll pretend that's what you left here.
So, yeah. So you guys grab the stuff, and it's when you see Rigby just kind of giving you that. Come on, he's about to
Alright.
come out. Fleming's about to come out.
Right, let's go. Let's get out of here quick. And then, as we like go back, I just kind of like pull out the little whiskey bottle, and I'm like, to Rigby because he's cool.
Yeah, he takes it with a kind of nod, but says, Nancy, one of the reasons why we can't approve your application is because of your drinking.
What? No one's ever told me this before.
I mean,
I do not have a problem.
I understand that it's not easy as a woman to get on the force, but you're not making it any easier for yourself. I mean, even I can approve your application, and I think you'd be good for it. So you need to find a way to cut down, or at least hide it.
I'll get on that.
Right.
Second one.
She
The
says as she takes on a sweet.
Right. She says she's
She's
carrying
like-
a bottle around in the morning. I'm on it.
Ooh, look, a clue.
Yeah. He says, well, we're wrapping up here. The scene is closed. Of course, you can't enter into the house, but hopefully you got the things that you forgot in the carriage house. I'm sorry for your, loss. It's possible that he's up there, but nobody's been reclaimed yet. So, whatever it is you're up to, try and stay out of Fleming's way.
I always, right?
Yeah.
She like elbows him a little bit.
Yeah, Fleming comes out with his pipe and he's like, what are you lot still doing here? Get out.
I was just getting a match to light my pipe with from Rigby here. Fleming.
He narrows his eyes. McDrew. And the two of you, lock eyes, goes into cinematic mode.
Yep.
To see who blinks first. So Fleming's going to try and kind of get you guys out from this place currently. It's possible that you could return later at night when they're gone, but they're definitely trying to clear out civilians from the crime scene right now. You have a letter, and you have Harvey's car. It's addressed to the 4 of you.
I suggest we open this letter in the car, so that way that Fleming can't overhear us. I found a
I'm
letter.
sorry, what?
I found a letter addressed to the 4 of us
Oh,
in his glove compartment of his car.
well, may I suggest that we leave this place and head to a quaint little establishment just down the road where we can just sit down and enjoy a nice cup of tea or something to eat? Or
Aye, that sounds great.
yes,
How's it
yes,
sound to you
it's only
two?
just down the road.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, James, you
Sure.
can have. come back in about an hour's time.
Of course. So, yeah, the group of you get a private opportunity to talk to one another, and I guess Nancy opens up the letter at some point.
Yep.
All right.
Once we sit down.
Yeah. So you guys sit down, and this is back at the Hiddleton house, right? Okay.
No, it's just like a little tea shop.
Okay.
just
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
you know.
Nice. I like it. Yeah. A little.
Pat's
if
got
it's-
his back to a quarter seat.
It'll be upper class because he was in he was rich, wasn't he? So he was in like a rich area, so probably
yeah.
classy kind
Yeah, I was going to say like a gentleman's club sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, with private rooms for the gentlemen to sit, read papers, and smoke and drink whiskey. So it's quite anonymous and private in here. So you can, I imagine Harvey has a private room in the place like this because he's like a patron of the club. So you open up the letter addressed to the four of you, and it reads simply, "Come at once. I haven't long. For God's sake, let no one follow you. J.A. Smith." And on the back of it, it reads the Islington Hotel, room 227.
At least it wasn't the Chelsea Arms.
Is the Islington Hotel, isn't that the one the murders happened at?
Chelsea Arms was.
Chelsea Arms, that's right.
of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hence his joke.
It was super funny.
Didn't.
The man's address was in Islington, that's where I got that from. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Will we know how far it is from us, the hotel?
It would be a 30-minute walk. So it is still in like the west side of town.
Yeah.
But it would be a couple of minutes drive. Traffic at these times is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's it. Probably be quicker walking though in London.
Yeah.
Well, it's only a brief walk. If anyone, the day seems to be rather nice. We could wait for James to return. He won't be back for an hour or so.
Let's just walk it.
Yes.
I
Yes.
agree.
Very well. Very well. Okay.
So we finish this here, and she like downs. Right, good to go.
Damn,
now.
girl.
So yeah, I think Pat's a soldier, but she drinks like a sailor. Quite impressive.
Farewell indeed. Yep.
Yeah. So the group of you walk through the busy streets of London, and it's not long before you arrive at the Islington Hotel. It is a pretty grand affair with actually guards around as well. There's actually one security officer who has a pistol, which is not common for a hotel to have. So it looks like it really defends its clientele, perhaps in terms of like who they are at places like this. The kind of place that Harvey would be familiar with. Politicians would go to do things that they shouldn't.
Can I roll some type of check to make sure we're not being followed? when we
Yeah,
walk?
Yeah.
I would like to do that as well, just because she's be like, all right, can't be followed.
Okay, yeah, you guys can roll me spot hiddens. Anyone who's doing it can do that. How strange,
Success.
in this campaign. Ding it,
Nice.
Nice.
Super success.
Yeah, Nancy, you notice that as you are walking through the bustling streets, that there is a man with dark skin and a dark moustache who appears to be following you for some time.
Jesus.
As you arrive, as you turn the corner to the Islington, you see that he's not following you anymore and has disappeared somewhere into the crowds.
Before we would have turned there, she would have liked to alerted the group and be like, "We're being followed. Should we lead him a different way for a bit?"
Right, I was gonna fake having to adjust my shoe and see if the others went ahead, if he swept forward or not.
Okay, yeah. He doesn't seem to. And a quick glance that you got a couple of glances at him to the point where, he's been following you for 15 minutes. It seems a bit odd that you've been taking lots of turns and he's still there. As you kind of drop to the ground to do the whole shoelace thing, you wait for him to pass by, but he doesn't.
Well, Nancy, you're the one who's had experience in such things.
All right. Does anyone like fisticuffs? Or should we take a more subtle approach?
Do you like
Okay,
whiskey?
I'd rather not get arrested today.
Ah, it's true. That is a bit daylight out, isn't it? All right. Let's shite. I don't normally get followed. You must have really.
Normally you're the one doing the following, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes, we must be on a really good case here.
Disconcerting, ain't it?
No, it's super exciting.
We could go walk on the block and stop in a shop or something.
Aye, let's step in the shop somewhere and see if he comes in the shop as well, or we could lose him through a market or something.
Okay.
Seems a good idea.
Okay. So the group of you trail through like a busy market stalls. People are selling all sorts of fresh fruit, vegetables, and pretty much anything else you could hope to buy. You don't, as you furtively glance back behind you occasionally to see if anyone's there, see the dark-skinned man following you, and maybe you walk for another 30 minutes trying to get the kind of tail on this guy, and after those half an hour is up, you're fairly certain he isn't following you anymore.
All right, now to the hotel.
Okay, very well.
Still watching for him, though.
Yeah, still looking out for him.
Yeah. So you arrive at the Islington, as I mentioned. It's a crystal chandelier type hotel with a very nice marble desk and a sweet looking secretary who smiles politely, daintily at the group of you. There's a security officer behind her, which leads up to a flight of stairs where you can access the rest of the rooms. And she smiles as you guys enter. And says, "Are you looking to book a night?"
Oh no, we're just we're here to visit somebody.
She says, "Oh, fantastic. Do you have a pass?" Here at the Islington, we require all visiting guests to check in and to have been approved previously by the guest. Would you mind the room number of the guest who you're visiting? I'll check to see if he's left any passes for you.
Oh, it's number 227.
227, let me see. And she looks us up in her little ledger and says, "Oh, yes, of course." And says, "Fantastic. If you could just sign your names here on the guest register." And she hands you a pen.
Yep, ladies first.
Everyone signs their names honestly.
Yeah, I saw my name, honestly. I don't know.
I'm not Tira, okay?
Pat signs Woodrow Wilson.
Nancy tries to be clever. She's like, Nancy Drew.
She doesn't really glance at it, so she takes it back and kind of says, hands you these little badges, basically, which allow you to be guests at the Islington, and motions towards the security officer, who passes by and lets you go up the staircases. There's several flights of stairs till you get to room 227, with a gold number on the door designating it as such.
Yep, we knock.
Knock.
Yeah.
All right. So, you rat-a-tat-tat on the door, and the driver of Mr. Smith opens the door. You may have glanced him on the way out. He smiles politely. This is Beddoes. Beddoes is a man in his 50s or so, butler type suit, which is a bit ruffled and scraggly right now, and a bow tie which isn't on properly. He looks nervous and sweaty, and looks like he hasn't washed out some ash from his hair and face. He smiles through all of this and says, excellent. Please do come in." And he opens the door, and you see Mr. Smith inside. The professor is in an armchair, and he's facing you guys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is he dead or is he alive?
The professor is alive.
Okay,
However,
good.
Professor looks
Just in the chair.
looks as though I always assume anyone who's in a chair is dead. I'm pretty sure you guys are dead right now.
We died a long time ago.
I'm just paranoid already, okay?
Good. And the professor, half of his face appears to have melted from great ravaging fires, which have left one of his eyes completely pale white and clearly blind. The rest of his clothing is burnt and in tatters, and you can see the sensitive red skin from third-degree burns, which are all over his body. He's been bandaged and wrapped up somewhat by Beddoes, but he does not look like he is in any good state of affairs. And he manages to kind of open his one eye, with one good eye, to look at you, and this kind of thin rasp comes out from where the smoke has filled his lungs and actually burnt the inside of his lungs and his throat as well, causing severe tissue damage. And he says, Thank God you have come. Because of my injuries, I cannot bear to talk for long, so please listen. Beddoes will answer questions for me. I have been on the trail of an occult artifact of great malevolence, the Sedefkar simulacrum. And he pauses to inhale this rasping breath, which you can tell causes great pain to him. At the 18th century, it was taken apart, and the pieces scattered across Europe. I planned to retrieve the pieces and to destroy it. Last night, Beddoes and I were attacked in our home by Turkish madmen. I think they too seek the simulacrum, but for foul purposes. We barricaded ourselves indoors, so they tried to burn us alive, but we got away. Beddoes saved my life. I'm afraid to come out of hiding, for these men would stop at nothing. Beddoes has a plan for us to escape, but the less said of that, the better. My notes were destroyed in the fire, unless the Turks have them. They must not be allowed to recover the statue. I ask you, my friends, to collect it before they can reach it. Here's what I remember of my researches. Paris was where the statue was dismembered. The owner was a noble, Comte Fenelic, who lost it just prior to the French Revolution. Some say part of it may still be in France. Napoleon's soldiers carried a piece into Venice when they invaded that city. It was sold to Elvis de Gramanchi. Another fragment made its way to Trieste at the same time. I do not know what became of it, but look up Johann Winkelmann at the museum there. I think a piece may lie in Siberia. Start at the Belgrade Museum. Dr. Milovan Todorovich is the curator. One part was lost near Sofia during the Bulgarian War in 1875. At that time, things of value were hidden from invaders, so it may be buried somewhere. The final piece was in circulation in Paris just after the Great War and was sold to someone from Milan. I do not know who. That is all I can tell you. You must try to collect it. When you have it, there is only one sure way to destroy it. And destroy it you must. You must take it back to its original home. A place in Constantinople known as the Shunned Mosque. There are niches there in which it once lay. A ritual which will destroy it utterly is included in a set of documents known as the Sedefkar Scrolls, but I have been unable to consult them. I am sorry, my friends, for you, for me, for us all. Please, do this for me. Go quickly. God help you all. And you see the professor going into a fit of coughing and he coughs up this blood as well from his mouth, which Beddoes quickly puts a handkerchief to. Beddoes, the aging butler, goes to his side, and with eyes downcast, he silently opens a cupboard and extracts a suitcase. He opens up the suitcase, and within which there are 200 new Bank of England £5 notes, £1,000 sterling. He closes it and hands over the case to you. Gentlemen, my master is in mean circumstances by choice to evade these wicked men. He wishes to contribute to your success and desires no accounting. Before this dreadful attack, he planned to travel via the Simplon Orient Express. The Orient Express services offer the finest, fastest, and most reliable rail transport on the continent, and my master is accustomed to comfort. He clears his throat and falls silent as he dabs at the handkerchief of his ailing master.
Is the professor still wearing what he was wearing last night at the gathering?
He is, yeah.
Herb gets down in front of him, not to interfere with James as he's working on him, but he slowly reaches into his pocket and sees if the letter's still there that he gave him.
It is. It has received fire damage, but it is still intact. And you see the professor is very kind of weak-voiced, just like motioned to Beddoes to take his handkerchief away so that he might speak. And he said, "The ionization on this note, stronger than any I have ever seen." And he descends back into fits of coughing. And Beddoes says, "I will speak for my master."
I pocket the letter.
So, also worth noting, £1,000 sterling is an incredible amount of money for this time.
So
he's just...
that's literally life.
Yeah. You're set.
It's that much, yeah.
Looks like I got a 90 credit rating now.
We all got a 90 credit rating.
This could buy a lot of whiskey.
Yeah.
On the train, of course.
Naturally. May I say...
Apparently the equivalent is $14,000 to today's standards, so fucking a lot of money.
Nice.
May I suggest you take him to the hospital?
He needs to see a doctor or something.
I mean, like, now.
Beddoes nods in agreement and says, "I'm afraid that my master wishes to avoid these wicked men with great meanness, and he will go to any cost. I have advised him to seek refuge in the hospital. However, we have a contact, a private doctor, whom we will be seeking assistance from. He will be receiving medical help, but not from traditional means."
Beddoes, I have a couple questions. These boys that attacked you last night, did they look alike?
He said...
Or were they...
Yeah,
It's a very good question.
he said it was hard to say. They were of the same skin, dark men, Turkish, clearly. I think you're muted there, Greg.
You did.
Shite! Was their height the same?
He struggles to remember and says, at least similar, yes.
Let me put it this way.
So fast.
Let me put it this way. There wasn't one of them that was short, overweight, real tall, kind of stood out from everybody else.
Well, you know, these Turkish gentlemen tend to be slim and of good physique.
Roughly the same.
1920s racism, hey. And he says, they were roughly the same, but I can't say I know exactly.
Good. All right, Beddoes. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
we
I
had one
ask-
of them Turkish fellows following us, but I think we lost him before we came here, so you shouldn't have to worry about that.
He says he looks very worried, very very worried, and says you weren't followed, were you? We expressly
No,
said
we
not
lost
to be
him.
followed.
We lost him in the market, we did.
We didn't lose him. He lost us. Well, he deliberately walked away, is what I mean.
He looks very worried and says, Good. Well then, as my master mentioned, a travel across Europe is most simple on the Simple Orient Express. We have tickets for each of you if you are willing to travel, along with the suitcase of money. No questions
Aye.
asked. No accounting.
What is so important about this statue? Why? I'm confused. Why is it important to destroy these pieces? Why are they willing to kill just for his broken statue?
This was one of my master's areas of study. He believed that this simulacrum had great power, and many others believe in it as well. This cult, these Turkish madmen, believe in it. They have forsaken their god, and they pray to a new faith. Whether or not this thing has true power, it must be destroyed, for they will go to the ends of the earth to find it, to bring it together. My master here believes in the power of the other. And I have seen things that would lead me to believe that that was true, that there is some power in the simulacrum. These men are willing to kill, to burn people alive in their homes. If not the professor, then how many others might they harm? Think of the good of the nation, your country.
That's why I'm thinking go to Scotland Yard.
Oh, we don't want to give this over to them. They'll just botch it all up.
Look, if this is true, this is surely bigger than just us four in here. Do you not think the whole resources of Scotland Yard would be better to tackle such a
That
problem?
Fellows is just going to throw this out as like the window. He's not going to give it the time of day.
Hey, Harv. All those boys at Scotland Yard were combing all over that place. Nancy here walked in. 1 second, she found this letter. Got us here.
I suppose.
I'll take her over Scotland Yard.
She has a habit of finding things.
Most of the time it's whiskey, but
Yes, trust me, I know. Well, Beddoes, I would strongly recommend that you make yourself known to Scotland Yard because they seem to be looking for you. And if you keep running, that's going to look incredibly suspicious.
He says, I'm afraid my master has forbidden me from contacting the police. I would stress with in the utmost possible way, do not reveal our location to anyone.
hey, Beddoes, do you know anybody at the Chelsea Arms Hotel?
He shakes his head. Not currently staying there, no.
Okay.
What if we go out here on this Orient Express like you're talking about, say we find some of these pieces, do you want us to, like, contact you afterwards or anything?
I'm afraid not. No. My master has expressly told me that he wishes to remain in hiding after this. There will be no accounting after you take the money and get on the train.
A cut and run kind of deal. I see.
Will, I have first aid. Can I tell if he's going to make it?
You could roll me a first aid check on him.
I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but...
Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah. So you don't know. You're pretty sure he's going to need a lot of medical assistance. People have walked away from worse, but he is not in the best of health or the best of sort of physique. So that might suggest to you that without immediate, serious attention, the professor might not make it. Or at least, you would expect, by the look of like the burning on his legs, which looks like he's down to a very thin amount of flesh left on the bone that he will most likely never walk again.
Okay.
So, Beto says, now, are you going to take the money? Are you going to take our offer?
Can you tell us more about these Turkish cultists? I seem to know, at least, that they're Turkish. That they're interested in this artifact.
I don't know their name. My master, he knew more, but I don't think he's up to speaking much on the matter.
Does your master, have a notebook or a diary where he might have kept these?
The notes were burned in the flames. I believe they wish to destroy much of the evidence. I would suggest that they hail from Constantinople, where the temple lies, of the ability to destroy the simulacrum. More than that, I know that they have forsaken Islam, and that they are heretics of a sort in their own church. I don't know how many of them there are, but I know that they have a great amount of power. Power of which the professor spoke of only last night.
Would he have ever published any of his notes, or like have records in the library or where he worked or anything?
You asking me in character or out character?
Well, would I have knowledge of that?
You would have knowledge that the professor has many papers on stuff like poltergeistry, and spirits. So Evelyn probably hasn't read all of them, but you could probably look them up in a library if you wanted to learn more of his findings.
But anything regarding the occult or anything?
He doesn't have a book on, as far as you know, a book on occultists, but that isn't to say that he's spoken about it in one of his many, many papers and books.
Okay.
Did we get a name of this cult? Did you say
No,
that?
I asked about it.
Yeah, they don't have a name for the cult. They only know that they are Turkish, and they've been referring to them as the Turkish Madmen, which isn't at all as offensive as it is now, I guess.
It's the 1920s. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're not Angus,
It's true.
Yeah, we're not Angus.
Not Angus. Thank God.
Well, what do you think, Harvey? I mean, doesn't the Orient Express go to France? You could maybe,
It does, yes.
And she can
Yes.
doing it.
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, thank you. You can
It's,
stop nudging.
Yeah, Beto says it stops in a total of 7 different countries, including Paris. Yes.
Well, it'll be a pleasant journey, if anything. I suppose. I mean, it would be nice to go to France again. It would be a nice, interesting. I have grown a bit tiresome after, and I've been in France. It's a wonderful country. Not when I went so much, but the reparations went spectacularly. So.
Aye, they did. And if I get some international travel on my resume, there's no way the Scotland Yard will be able to turn me down.
Yes, Nancy, I'm sure. Well, I guess, unless there's anything else you wish to ask, Beddoes, I guess we leave him so he can go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah, Beddoes is going to bow politely and say, thank you. Is someone taking the suitcase of money?
I'll take the suitcase.
Yeah. And he says, I've been asked to make sure that you are all set to be on this journey. Miss Evelyn, where do you lie on the matter?
I would probably have to not tell my husband the scenario in which I'm investigating.
Of course.
Make sure you just don't tell him too much, Oh, that's all Southern. I'm not Ruby. Just make sure you don't tell him too much, or he could be in danger. This sounds a bit, thrilling. Maybe say you're a librarian, right? Going to some book convention or
Or perhaps just
There's a book con going on.
Yeah,
BookCon.
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 BookCon 23.
They picked up your book. You're going on a tour all over Europe.
Or like the library
Signings.
to go to some other library for some fancy librarian.
I mean, you guys could help convince the husband, I suppose. Okay, so he kind of nods and says, "Very well, then I must ask you to leave. We have an appointment with our doctor."
Yeah, I mean, does he have the tickets? Is he giving us
Yeah,
the
he's
tickets?
going to hand you over tickets to the Orient Express.
Okay, great. Awesome.
As we're leaving, Pat opens up the revolver that was in the glove compartment of the car and just checks to see if it's fully loaded.
It is.
Okay, there's no shots fired, no empty cartridges or
Nope.
anything? Okay, he flips it around and hands it to Beddoes.
Beddoes grasps it gingerly and says, "Hopefully I won't need this."
Don't squeeze it. Pull it.
Yes. Yes.
That's what she said.
I don't remember where I heard that. It was on leave one time.
So the group of you head out of the room. So you're still in the Islington Hotel. What is the plan from here? The Orient Express leaves tomorrow.
Oh, that's convenient. I suggest we pack.
It's a pretty good plan.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Are you going to like meet up in a common area or place?
Oh, meet up at the station.
Yeah.
Yes. Unless someone needs a lift, I suppose.
You can pick me up. That'd be great, Harvey.
Yes, Nancy.
Thank
yes.
you.
Half your stuff is already in my house
She's
anyway.
like moved in.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a very important person to me.
Yeah. So, all right. So Harvey and Nancy will return. Pat will return to his hotel, and Evelyn will go back to her house. So Wallace is back in from work, and he's like, "Evelyn, where's dinner? I'm hungry."
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I've just been out all day.
What you been doing?
Well,
Well,
I had a lunch with the professor to discuss his new theories that he's been looking at.
you've been lunching with professors. Well, you're all high and mighty now, ain't you?
Well, I wouldn't say that, dear.
Well, what's his theories you talk about?
Well, his latest theories revolve around poltergeist.
Ghosts?
Yes, dear.
You talking to a professor about ghosts? What kind of professor is he anyway? Some kind of mumbo-jumbo hippie guy?
Well, I suppose, dear, you could look at it that way, but
Well, honey, you don't need to get all these silly thoughts in your brain, okay? Let's get some dinner going, shall we?
yes, dear.
All right, chop chop, let's go. And he returns to his study to drink whiskey, very much the 20s man. So, Evelyn, how are you going to bring it up to Wallace that tomorrow you're going on a train, the trans-European journey on the Orient Express, which, as well, knowledge that you guys have, is an extremely posh carriage. The lower class carriages have just been invented in 23, or have been implemented in 23, but they're still incredibly expensive, even if you're going to be on a lower class trip. If you're in upper class or just standard class, then it is one of the most expensive trips that you could ever take. It is the height of refinement and gentlemanly prowess, I suppose. Yes. Have you been on the Orient Express? Well, of course I have, darling. That kind of thing. So Harvey's probably been meaning to go for some time.
Yeah, probably.
So, Evelyn, how are you going to bring this up to Wallace? Are you going to do it tonight? Are you going to do it in the morning? Or are you just going to leave?
I just love it. I'll leave a note.
Here's your breakfast, dear.
Yeah.
I went to the market. Doesn't show up for like 2 weeks.
He's just
Find out.
been sitting there waiting for dinner.
I'm going out to get cigarettes. Doesn't show up for 18 years.
Yes.
He's staring at the note she left for 2 weeks because he can't read.
Yeah.
What is this? By the asterisk, I'm pretty sure I grew up beside Wallace whenever I was a kid. Just
Did you grow up in Houston?
no.
She would probably attempt to bring it up at dinner.
Okay. So yeah, you're having dinner. Wallace is kind of like reading the paper whilst he's eating.
So darling, I was wondering if it would be okay for me to go on a trip here tomorrow, actually.
Where you want to go? It's a museum around here.
Well, there's this museum that is doing this new exhibit in Paris, actually. That I was wanting
Sounds
to
real
visit.
nice. Wait, what? Paris?
Yes, dear.
Well, how are you gonna get your ass to Paris, girl?
Well, actually, I received a ticket from Professor Smith. He so
ghost
kindly
professor.
gave me the... Yes.
Ghosty professor is trying to get you to go
It's-
to
it's
Paris
not-
with
it's
him.
not-
Is that how it is?
No,
Really?
no, he's not going. He's not going, dear.
Is that
It
so?
would just be me, darling.
So you going on all on your own to Paris to go look in a museum?
Well, I've done it before, dear. We've gone before, and I've gone by myself before. Back in Houston too.
Well,
I
you
would go to
know
museums
how
all
I
the
feel
time.
about that.
Well, I could send postcards the entire time. I could. She would just kind of like fumble with her food while she's talking.
Yeah, he's
Domestic life.
he does not seem happy with the idea, and says, "How'd you get you a ticket anyway? That's meant to be on that Orient Express. That's real expensive."
He likes my work. I do studies as well, as you
He
know, in
likes
the
your
library.
work so much that he's gonna give you a trip to Paris free of charge to a museum of ghosts. Excuse me, Evelyn, but this does not seem like it is a very good idea for you. Now, what
Well-
you need to do is get your head down, back to your studies in the library. Nice and quiet, live it out, maybe get promoted one day. I don't know.
As if you would actually want me to have a promotion.
But we gotta work on some kids here, girl. Come on.
She would just kind of like stare at her food, not even like making eye contact anymore. She just don't worry about it, dear. I won't go. I will just continue as I do. I'll just work more at the library.
All right, yeah, I'm good. That's all I'm saying, honey. All I'm saying is just why rock the boat when we got such a good thing going here. You know, I'm about to get promoted, I think, and that's just gonna go real well for us. And then I'll be able to pay for you to stay at home here and look after the little kids running around.
Yes, dear. And she would like not finish her food. She would kind of go to the kitchen and start cleaning up food.
Yeah, he doesn't
With the
know.
plan of leaving bright and early in the morning with a note saying, "I love you, dear."
All right, so Evelyn's gonna slip away in the dead of night from Wallace, who's kind of passed out from the drink. So you head over to the platform 9 3/4. The first thing throughout the night. So Nancy and Harvey, similar situation to Nancy passing out on the guest bed, most likely.
Before she does that, she goes like, "Hey, Harvey, how about we
Yes.
go back to the professor's house and look for more clues now
No,
that rubbish
no.
Scotland Yard fellows is gone?"
How drunk is she at this point?
Nancy, no,
Oh,
I'm
come
not
on,
going
Harvey.
to.
It would be you. Oh, you're such a dimwitty. Come on, just have some fun.
I have plenty of fun. I'd just rather not get arrested and sent to jail for when we're supposed to go on your press tomorrow. You can go yourself if you want to, but I'm staying home. I've got to
No,
pack.
it's no fun by myself. I'll stay here.
All right.
But I will finish this bottle first.
Yes. You remember, you really should stop with that.
I said hide it better. That's what I took away from that conversation.
All right.
So I'm going to invest in a flask before we leave in the morning.
Probably a good idea.
It's a bit
Probably
more
a good
subtle
idea.
than just the bottle in the purse.
Have like the newspaper that has like the flask in it. And you just-
Yeah.
And then she'll like drunkenly stumble to the guest bedroom at some point.
James, sometimes it wonders why I made friends with her.
He nods and says, "I did tell you so, sir."
Yes, you did, many times. The things we do for love. All right, James, let's lay out my suitcases for tomorrow. I think maybe 3 suitcases should be enough. Evening gear, pajamas, casual, the usual. It'll be perhaps a few weeks.
So, he nods and says, "Sir, we will all miss you here," as he places your suitcases down at the front of the house with a car already fired up.
Keep the old place in tip-top condition. Make sure the servants have their few less hours than usual. Think of it as a kind of holiday for yourself, ensuring the house is still tidy, of course.
I have to say, so it will be a nice relief for the maids to no longer have to deal with Miss Drew.
Yes, I'm sure it would be. Yes, I'm sure. Hopefully, when we come back, that she'll go back to her own place now. And then, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yes. Well, it's like Christmas has come early.
Yes, I'll endeavour to give as many Christmas presents as you as I can. That being the main one.
He smiles and says, "Well, the engine is all fired up, sir. If you wish me to accompany you, I can, and head you to the platform."
Yes. Drive us to the platform. Have you loaded Miss Nancy's stuff?
Of course, sir. I managed to sneak out a couple of the boxes that she had taken with her and replace them back down into a new compartment within the attic.
Oh, very good, James. Very good.
Yes, I realized that climbing the ladder to the attic was something that Miss Drew is incapable of whilst under the influence.
And then you hear a large crash. Fight this bloody ladder!
There's a scream of a maid. Ah!
She's like a bloodhound.
Truly remarkable, sir. Truly remarkable and truly terrifying.
Yes.
So, you head off in the car to the platform station. So Pat in his hotel. What's his plans for leaving?
Pat wants to leave a little bit early, and he wants to head back to the hotel where the professor was staying.
Okay.
And we still have the passes, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, and this is the following morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go in and I want to go through the process of getting into the hotel, and I know we have to sign in each day, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. When I look at the sign-in sheet, do I see anything that looks like Macarat?
There is a name which draws attention to you, I suppose, which signed in after you guys arrived. It is not Makarath, but it's clearly a false name. It's, John Doe is written down, which is like obviously not a real name, just someone's put a name down. Is this suspicious? Is this your Turkish man? Difficult to say because there are probably many people who go anonymously to this place. But I certainly checked in about half an hour after you guys left.
Can I go check into the room? Can I ask if she's still allowing me to use the pass for 227? Yeah. I'm assuming that the person in 227 hasn't checked out, correct?
That's correct, yeah. You are still allowed up if you want to go to Professor Smith.
Okay, I'm going to be the first one to die, everybody. I'm going to go up and see what's going on.
At least it's not me, so I'm good.
Wow, this is fantastic. Going alone to the room.
It's always the best idea.
So yeah, you knock on the door, but it doesn't open up immediately. You hear that there is the sound of something dripping from within.
Great. Is the door open?
It is slightly ajar.
Okay. I pull out my 38, or my 38, and what the hell, the 44 too?
Double dual wield.
And slow it open, you know. Just let it swing open on its own and see what I see.
Alright, so before you, as you open the door, you see the same armchair within which Professor Smith once lay. No longer is Professor Smith in attendance of the chair. Indeed, he has taken to another area of the room, mainly the ceiling, along with his fellow Beddoes. The two of them are strung from the ceiling, hanging. Blood drips from open wounds from their necks, which is pouring and creating this slow drip, drip, drip sound as the blood pools and stains the carpet below. You see that both of them are missing their tongues and their eyes, and their bodies have been mutilated to remove several other vital organs. If you had to guess, kidneys have been removed, and most likely the heart as well. Remains of the organs lie on the floor in some amounts of mutilation and destruction. It looks as though the organs have been removed and then sliced up individually in a brutal fashion.
Does anything catch my eye other than the incredible savagery that has occurred?
The sanity check takes your eye as you see this, Pats. So roll me a sanity check first of all.
I have the war experience package, which means when I see gruesome injuries or bodies, I don't have to do that.
Good job. So you look at this and you kind of still yourself. You've seen stuff like this before in the war when you were riding with the Rough Riders. So you managed to hold back from like gagging from like the stench of the flesh, which is beginning to sort of decompose in its first stages. You would guess, looking around this room, that they died maybe last night.
Yep. About a half hour after we left?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else around?
Really a spot hidden, yeah.
My spot hidden sucks, but okay.
I'm just waiting for you to leave. I'm like, okay, and just close the door. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Scotland Yard to turn up as he walks out of the room.
Oh, hey guys.
Stop stealing all my things, man. Spoilers. So, okay, so, yeah, Pat, you take a look around. You can't see much, like, around the room that's been kind of left. It looks like they've been, despite the obvious savagery, fairly clean in how they've cleaned up after themselves. However, you do find a boot print in the ground, which looks male.
Okay. Can I just rough estimate, length? I commit to memory. I'm not going to sit down there and,
Yeah, oh god, American conversions.
It is exactly 8 feet long.
Yeah, an 8 foot long. There's a giant in this room. You would guess it is of a male boot print size. And I do this in English size because the only conversion I know. Size like 8 to 11. So a average to large size foot, I suppose.
Gotcha. And since that's all I can see, I am going to leave.
Yeah. You hear the sounds of people walking up the staircase. You hear a couple of murmurs and the distinct voice of Inspector Fleming as he's coming up the staircase. Sounds like we got a double homicide. And they're starting to come up the staircase towards you. Haven't yet spotted you. So this is why you don't make jokes, redundant, because then the things happen.
I'm so sorry. I didn't expect it.
Okay, is that the only staircase up?
There are 2 staircases. So imagine you're in like a long corridor. They're coming up one. You can go to the other. You're about halfway across from that place. So
I take my hat off and put it in my jacket a little bit and just kind of not double time it, but hard march. A hard march to the other staircase going down.
Yeah. You know, maybe like pop the collar, whatever, and turn your back as they come up. They don't stop you, but they immediately begin to like break into the room behind. You manage to descend down the staircase. As you're going, the security guard, who's down the bottom of the staircase, the first flight of stairs, is go up several to get to 227, begins to escort you down, and he says, "Sir," and he's got like a pistol on his hip, but he's not holding it, and he's going to escort you down, and he's kind of making you walk quite quickly, and he's saying, "In circumstances like this, sir, it is best to be expedient. Fear not, the police will know nothing."
Pat coughs for a second. He goes, "I agree, good man. I would hate to have my wife find out about this." And he takes off.
Pretty good, sir. So yeah, you take off, and you'll head to the station as well. So I live. He lived. He lives.
For now.
So yes, the group of you are the next morning standing ready at the station let me see what station it is. We'll say Liverpool Street if I can't find anywhere else. You see that it's very busy here. All sorts of passengers are going to be boarding the train, which should be arriving at 7:22. It's currently just 7 a.m., so you have a bit of time to chat. There are plenty of criers around who are shouting out the local newspapers, and the group of you re-adjourn. So Harvey, Nancy, Evelyn, and Pat meet up together and are waiting at the station for your train to arrive.
I'm gonna kind of like be nervously looking around, waiting for my husband to randomly show up. So
Yeah.
Oh, do you think you're followed, lass?
Talking to my husband didn't go quite as expected.
Oh? What, did he not approve?
No, not at all.
It's hardly surprising. Wait, what did you tell him? You didn't tell him the full story, did you?
Of course not. I don't know what accent I'm doing. Where am I? One second. Well, of course not. I told him I was going to see a museum in Paris.
Oh, well, what's the problem with that?
I didn't tell him I was going with others because I didn't want to have to explain that, and it just didn't go well.
Very well. Well, let's just hope he doesn't get the local police in France looking for you.
Let's hope not.
At this point, Pat walks up, and as soon as he gets within the circle, he says, "The professor's dead."
Oh, are you
What?
sure?
Oh, yeah. Good morning, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Wait, he's dead. He died from his wounds then, I guess. I guess the doctor didn't...
Well, not the wounds that we saw. The wounds that he got right after we left, and he got hung up.
He what?
Found him and Beddoes hung from the ceiling, cut to pieces. They're dead. I won't get into the specifics.
He's so nonchalant. Just the end of happening.
Even Beddoes?
Oh, yeah, he's real dead.
Well, I'm glad we're getting out of town then.
Chances are it was a fellow that was following us. Chances are we've been followed here.
So they know that we're here. I would like to put forward just this other idea of telling Scotland Yard about this again. I think the fact that 2 people have been killed by these fellows. I think we should get some protection. I just want to put that forward
They're
again.
not going to do shite about us. You know, they don't. They're too busy with all the other mini crimes that go about in this town. They're not going. They're not.
We could just not take the train.
Harv, you'll be
Oh,
happy
no,
to
we're
know that
taking the
Scotland Yard knows all about the murders. They were there.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, at least they know that.
Yeah, they know all about it. Well,
Yeah.
not all about it. They know they're dead.
Well, yes,
The boy who's nearby crying out for the papers for the Times, he's shouting, "Get your papers! Get your papers! Man disappears in cloud of smoke! Man disappears in cloud of smoke! Linked to triple murders? You decide! Get your papers! Get your papers!" And he's just screaming
Oi.
out.
boy, give me a paper.
He asks for payment, and he'll chuck you a paper.
He just takes it. No payment for you.
get out of here.
Podcasted.
And I should read the paper after I pay him.
Let me show this to players. So we have lots of articles of investigation. So it reads: Man disappears in cloud of smoke. Spontaneous human combustion linked to triple murder case. Police are today investigating the disappearance of Mr. Henry Stanley, 41, of Stoke Newington, who was reported missing last night by his landlady, Mrs. Constance Atkins. She alleges that she heard a cry from Mr. Stanley's upstairs room at 8 o'clock. He did not answer to her knocking, and when she opened the door, the room was full of smoke, and there was no sign of him. Mr. Stanley is not married. He is a noted train enthusiast and a member of the London Train Spotters Association. His disappearance may be a case of spontaneous human combustion. Police have refused to comment on this. Similar cases have been reported in England earlier this century. The most recent known was that of Mr. J. Temple Thurston, who burned to death in his home in Dartford, Kent, 1919. It has been revealed that a model train set found on the scene has been purchased last week from the shop of Mehmet Makriat. That child's toy may have caused the fire. Readers may recall that 3 bodies, all identified as Mr. Makriat, were found earlier this week in a Chelsea hotel room. Police have not ruled out the possibility of a link between the 2 cases. And that's the most pressing article that you guys get a glance of.
The name doesn't ring a bell, does it?
The ring Mr. Henry Stanley doesn't ring a bell, no.
Didn't think so.
None of you guys are associated with the Train Spotting Association of London.
That you know
Yes.
of. My husband loved trains now.
Yeah. Huh. Seems like a lot of unusual things happening quite recently.
It's a good thing we're getting out of London then.
You know what? I think so. Actually, you know, the more that you talk about it, the more it seems better to leave London this
Aye.
current time. Yes.
Okay, so your train is arriving. This is a train which is going to take you to the coast, which will then you'll then take a boat to Calais, and then from Calais the Orient Express itself will leave. We haven't yet invented the underground, underwater like trains yet. Oops, hang on a second. You see the train come in. And it's a large train. Several carriages are to it, and several people are coming off. This train has recently just come from Liverpool, and it is just come into London, Liverpool Street now. As the train comes along, you see that it's a great steam locomotive. Certainly of its age, and it kind of chugs and finishes its journey, stopping where it stands. Several whistles blow and people are allowed out. You see that the train is filled with people dressed in 1890s costume. Not the other way around, not from the 80s. 1890s costume. They seem to glide off the train quite quickly, this set of passengers. One of the guys walks past you. He's got quite a blank expression on his face, and he turns and looks at a group of you. What time do we reach Liverpool?
I'm sorry.
Where is the conductor?
Is there a conductor on the platform
No.
that I can? I don't know. On the train, maybe.
He looks at you like blankly as if he hasn't been listening to you, and then he moves on. A lady stops by, and you notice she's just been talking to another group of passengers who are about to board. And she looks at the group of you and says, "What's the delay for?"
What delay? I think this train's on time.
Is another train following? My husband was to be on board.
Maybe he's already on board.
She looks like she hasn't listened to you, and there are several passengers who are beginning to come off and sort of circle the group of you, and they're looking at the group of you quite sort of intently. But when you reply, their faces are still blank.
Boy, you lot bugger off.
Hello?
They look at Harvey and begin to say in unison, "Come with us. Come with us.
Don't go with the Marabou,
Come with
they're
us.
crazy.
Come with us. Come with us."
And they're dressed in
1890s.
I've got to. I'm sorry. I've got to look. I've already got a place to go to. I'm afraid I can't.
As you're looking at these guys and they're talking to you, Harvey, you suddenly feel your resistance just wearing away. That resolve where you're like, I need to be somewhere else, just wears away until you feel almost powerless to resist. You want to go with them. You want to be on the train.
Well, I suppose this might go to the coast anyway. I'll just.
Harvey, we're waiting for the train to connect us to the Orient Express. What are you doing?
This one goes to the coast, doesn't it?
Come with us. Come with us.
See, they know what they're doing.
Harvey, they're being all weird and chanty, and they're all like reenactors or something. Don't listen to them.
No one seems to be paying attention to you as a small crowd is forming around you, but one of the women grabs Harvey, and he and they all disappear before your very eyes, and you can all roll me sanity checks.
Well,
I was about to punch one of them with my bottle of whiskey.
I have not seen
Glass
them.
them, a real Glasgow. I pass.
I pass.
I do not.
Alright, so, who failed?
I did.
Okay, so, you take, you lose 3 sanity, from seeing this happen. And, Evelyn, you're beginning to, feel very queasy and kind of uncertain about what just happened before you. Pat and Nancy, your brains explain it as you're very tired. Maybe you fainted for a second. Maybe you just kind of blanked out for a second. Because the brain seeks to explain that which it cannot understand.
There's a perfectly logical explanation for this. We just got to. I'll try to find him.
No, he just disappeared. He's just gone.
So that's the sheer nonsense. You must have the vapors or something, girl. Here, have some whiskey. It'll help.
I don't drink, but he's gone. He's just.
Maybe you should start. You won't start talking crazy like that.
Pat looks around for the conductor, anybody else that he can see that's kind of looking at us.
Yeah, no one seems to be looking at you guys. Everyone seems to be busy with boarding the train right now. You hear a cry coming from the second carriage, and it sounds like Harvey.
The second carriage?
The second carriage.
Oh, Harvey, what do you...
All right, let's go.
She just starts running over there.
Me too.
To the train.
You, as you head towards the train, you look in one of the windows, and there is a man pressed up against the glass, his eyes wide, mouth screaming a silent scream at you.
Away from the train.
Is it Harvey?
Yeah, is it
It
Harvey?
isn't Harvey. It's another man who has a thick mustache and very deep lines in his, quite distinctive lines around his eyes.
Can we
Stop
see?
screaming and tell me where the fuck my friend is!
Can we see if he's wearing any 1890s clothes?
He appears to be wearing clothes of your time.
Okay.
We don't recognize him, though.
You don't recognize him.
Okay.
Is it my husband? No.
No.
Bullshit.
Okay, but
Do we go?
Yeah, the carriage. We have to get inside the carriage with the screaming face on the window because that's where Harvey's scream is coming from. Correct?
That's true, yeah.
All right.
Alright, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay.
I like the way you think.
So we're going to cut back to Harvey.
Yeah.
So, Harvey, you find yourself suddenly within a carriage, and you're no longer outside on the platform where you thought you were. And standing before you are 3 passengers, all dressed in this 1890s garb, and they appear to be blank-eyed with just whites to their eyes and no pupils whatsoever, and they're dumbly staring at you.
Hello? Hello?
They begin to claw at you and grab
Whoa.
at you, at your clothing, all 3 of them.
I step away. I'm out of their reach.
Yeah.
I keep moving back.
Yeah, that's their cry, and you start to move backwards as they continue to kind of claw at you and grab at you in this compartment. You see that there are others behind them. They don't seem to be speaking to you. They're just clawing at you. And this is when Pat and Nancy and Evelyn arrive, and you see the 3 of them just kind of stop and stare at you without reacting.
So I've got things clawing at me, and then I see those 3 that come and stop, and there's no reaction whatsoever.
Correct. When they
I
stop and
check-
they've looked
hey.
at you, they begin to walk towards you again, and they're going to begin clawing at Harvey.
Is there anything to, like, I don't know, pick up to push them away? Or...
Yeah, you're on this, it's not like a particularly nice train, this one, but there'd be like a newspaper that you could roll up, just kind of bat them away.
Can I use a suitcase, a bit heavier?
Yeah, suitcase, yeah, you just kind of like
Yeah,
slam them
Get
away.
back! Get
they're-
back!
They're almost zombie-like in their, like, they don't feel, it doesn't seem like they feel any pain, they certainly don't react to it. Yet they just continue to, like, stare at you. And then you hear this shout from the first carriage, which is, through here, quickly, through here!
I run and go through there. I run straight through into the other one.
Yeah. You head through the other carriage. What's Pat and Nancy and Evelyn doing?
Open up this bloody flaming door.
All right, so you guys head through. You see a little aged man from 1890s by the looks of things, by his dress. He's small, bald-headed, thin, and his eyes are burning with a feverish intensity. He says, welcome to the 9:15 Liverpool. Although we're running a little late. My name is Randolph Alexis. Pleased to meet you. He shakes all of your hands profusely.
Are you the conductor?
He says, that's right. Yes, Randolph Alexis. Pleased to meet you. Running a little late, but this is the 9:15 to Liverpool, and you should be on your way soon.
Wonderful. We got a guy on here who's on the wrong train.
He says, I believe that all of the passengers have shown their tickets, so I think we're all good.
Have you seen a guy who's about tall, clean shaven, really kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Pompous.
No, he's not quite pompous. There's another word, I can't really think of it. I'll think of it later, it'll come to me. But yeah, a little bit frilly maybe.
Rich.
Yeah!
He says, there is someone on board. He first of all, you guys can run with spot hidden as you look around this first carriage that Mr. Randolph Alexis is in.
Success.
Oh wow, nice.
Good.
So, okay, you guys see the man who's been pressed up to the window with his mouth open and screaming. He looks a little like feverishly sick, but he looks very like glad to see you guys, like really relieved to see you all. Evelyn, you notice that in the first of 3 compartments where people could be sitting, there are shredded clothes and scattered and gnawed bones. And Mr. Randolph leads you over as the train sets off. There we go, on our way, fantastic. Choo-choo.
I did.
It's 9:15 to Liverpool, so off we go. And he says, if you please find your seats. And the man who's been sitting down looking very anxious says, oh, goodness, are you real? Are you... Can you help me?
We're real. About as real as real can be. Are you crazy?
My name is Henry Stanley. Dude, my name is Henry Stanley.
Alright, Henry Stanley. My name's Nancy McAdrew.
Are you the train
What's the
enthusiast?
matter?
Yes, the train enthusiast. Yes. People must be looking for me.
Oh, yeah, you disappeared in a puff of smoke last night. I remember now. Reading you back in the newspaper. This newspaper right here.
Oh, good. That's
Mr.
good.
Stanley, how long have you been on this train?
It seems like I can't remember how long this train is. What
How many
month is
times
it?
have you seen the sun?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Oh boy.
He's lost his marbles, he has.
Yeah, he says I feel a bit queer, as if I am under a fever or something. It's very strange. He says, what time is it? What's the time now?
Oh, well, it was, we just got on the 9:15 to Liverpool.
Yeah,
But wait a minute.
you guys
it
are
was
leaving
still
on
7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, you guys are leaving on the 7:22, but you look
Yeah,
at
this
you look at your watches and it's 9:15.
You think we're on the wrong train? We were supposed to be at the 7 o'clock train, and it says 9:15 now.
Around us,
we're
this
just
is the
going
right
wrong
train. This is the right train, honestly.
I am not sure if I believe you.
Well,
We're just-
listen. If my name isn't Randolph Lexus, then if it's not 1911, then my name is Randolph Lexus. Okay?
No,
So-
it's not 1911, sir.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Oh.
Well,
Sure it is.
when we first came, this place was the empty of the train. I see one day now it'll be filled and there'll be no room for more. When will that time be? Time is different here. It seems to me no more than a month since I made my great error. And yet my register, and he points to the ceiling, and you see that thousands of tiny ticks have been made with uncompromising regularity, as if he's been attempting to pass the time and note the passage of time. Shows so many episodes of long sleep that I can calculate confidently that the year is late in 1911.
Sure. Sure, sounds good.
He smiles and says, I've managed to seal myself in here, you see. Now, you'll be fine. You'll be safe. Don't worry.
Safe
But
from what?
Did we
Maybe
see
us.
Harvey go the other way? Did we get in as Harvey went the other way?
I believe Harvey came with you, or did he not? Was that a mistake?
No, is Harvey with us?
I could have sworn we followed him.
Yeah, I thought he
was-
was taken too. Oh, okay.
I was under the impression Harvey went with you guys, but Harvey, I don't know if that's true.
No, basically, I disappeared, and then I got onto the
Yeah.
train carriage,
Mhm.
and then I had that little scuffle, and then run
Yeah.
to the other carriage, and then they walked onto it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you guys are together talking to Randolph.
Okay, we're not
and-
looking for Harvey.
And Henry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
so I'm. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry,
That's
I
what
thought
we were all confused about.
Yeah.
I thought I was in a different carriage. Sorry.
Yeah, me too. Alright, I just gotta go for the host. Alright, confusion cleared up, yeah. So what happens is, Harvey disappears, you guys run onto the train, see the weird people clawing at him, you rush back to Randolph, and now you're having this conversation with him. So there are tens of thousands of tiny little ticks and marks up on the ceiling where he's been marking the passage of time. And Henry says he's completely insane. He's completely insane.
Harvey! She leans over. Why the fuck did you get on this blasted train?
I don't know. Just one minute I was on the platform, the next minute I was in here, and lots of little things. clawing at me.
Clawing at you.
Yes.
Well, you've always kind of were, the ladies, man, but I don't think,
Well, yes, but they don't all call at me like that. They at least ask for a drink first.
Yes, the other members of the train are not very accustomed to visitors. They're not really very fond of them. Indeed, they're not fond of me. That's why I've sealed myself in here.
Why didn't you just, kick him off the train?
Well, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're all very angry. And people that go there don't return, so I thought it best to seal myself in here, and here we are. See, with my friend Henry, and he's now my companion.
Yes, well, why don't yourself and Henry and all of us just leave the train?
I'm afraid we can't. We're leaving now, and, we're no longer on your place. We're no longer London.
Wait, this was the train to Liverpool, yes?
Yeah, yes, 9:15 to Liverpool. But, you see, I have a problem with this train.
Me too.
It's, how do I explain? It's not on this Earth, but it also is. At different times it may or may not be, depending on when we surge forwards. So currently, and he ticks the ceiling, we are no longer there.
Nancy, did you put whiskey in my tea this morning again?
I did not. I considered it, but I thought the better of it.
Well, I've been working on a way to return our train to Earth, but I lack the library that I have at home, and I can't get the pattern right.
So what have you got? What do you need right for us to do it?
Well, if we could all return and we could be off this place back to 1911, and all would be well. But the pattern, you see, it's not right, and I don't know how to do it. That's the. Let me show you, and he says, he shows you over to this last compartment in the carriage. You notice that there are several other compartments with gnawed bones in them as well. Several of them seem to be of a suspiciously large shape, which would not attest to like chicken or small poultry. This could be larger creatures as well, which he's been eating here, been gnawing on the bones. And he shows you this huge twisted figure 8 pattern spread flat on a compartment floor, fashioned of human intestines and offal. This requires a sanity check from each of you. Although Pat's got war stuff, so you're good.
He's used to seeing so much.
I failed.
I pass.
I passed, yay!
Nice. Everyone passed?
No, I failed.
Oh, okay. So as you look at this, Nancy, you lose 2 sanity.
Okay.
And Alexis he begins to fuss over it. Something's wrong with it. It's not working. I know that it can work because Albert must have succeeded somehow. I've forgotten that the figure 8 pattern is configured in 3-dimensional space, hence the ramps and elevations that Albert Alexis built into the train.
Excuse me. You said Albert Alexis?
Yes.
He was the creator of this train?
Correct, yes.
And you say he got out?
Yes. He succeeded, so we must be able to as well.
How long ago was that?
Well, I don't think he understands time.
That was.
Why didn't you just? I'm not Ruby. Why didn't you just get off the train at the last stop?
You can't leave the train. It's not on Earth. Can't leave the train.
But we were just on Earth and we got on the train. We're still on Earth.
Yes, you can get on it, but you're different, aren't you? You're different.
Can I look out the window? What do I see?
If you look out the window, you see London going past.
Oh, going past, as in weird, like... Okay.
Yeah, as you're in movement, so... It looks to all intents and purposes that you're on a train track and moving through London.
Can I don't know if you think, but in a lot of trains, they did have an emergency stop.
Mm-hmm.
Does this train have an emergency stop?
It's got like a pull, kind of like, which will alert the conductor that, or the engine room that it needs to stop down. Yeah, so you kind of like, pull it, and he says, oh, we haven't got an engine man.
You what?
I say, Pat steps up and goes, let me try mine. He pulls out his 44 and shoots one of the windows.
Yeah, it fires right through a blast which is going to deafen everyone in the room because it was so loud and right next to everyone. No protection, so everyone's just got that kind of white noise buzz going on as Pat deafens you. And the shot goes through the window and out into the countryside where the bullet is lost.
Oh, please
It's
don't do
bloody
that
ears.
again.
It didn't shatter the
bloody
window.
hell.
It just went through it.
It went through.
Okay, like it was like not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean you ain't got the engine man?
Man.
There isn't one. We don't need one.
What
Wait.
the-
So there isn't an engine on this train?
Well, there's an engine, but we don't need an engine man to run it.
So
I
can
haven't
we
seen
not
him
go
in.
to the engine?
I haven't seen him in 5, 2, 20, 15.
Can we not go to the engine?
Yeah, let's look at the. Can we look at the engine?
You mustn't leave. If you leave, they could get you. You are safe in here, sealed in here. That exit, the way off, is this. And he points at the trail of like offal and human intestines.
I'd rather not touch that.
The spell. We have to get out. There must be a way to do it. Alexis did it, so can we.
Henry, I'll go to Henry. Henry,
Yeah.
what do you know of? Do you know what type of train this is, or who made it? You know this. What was it, Alex?
Albert Alexis. Yes. He made the train. He made the train, and there's a model of it which he built first. It's what he has back there is insane. I think he's going to kill me. I think he might eat me. I think he might have eaten other people too.
I think you're
Fine.
right.
He's not going to eat you while we're here. You're fine.
So he built that Circle 8 thing out of intestines.
Yes. It's meant to be modeled to look like the first model of the train which Albert built. I hate to say it, but I think I might know what is wrong with his pattern. And when you look at the intestines, you can kind of see it does look a bit like a train now. Like the intestines are laid out in sort of like these rows. You've kind of got like wheels made out of offal that he's managed to like put together. And he's like fiddling with it, and his fingers are like sticky with blood.
Henry.
I think the problem is, well, first of all, he's fucking insane.
Yeah,
But secondly, the original build, the original construction had ramps leading up to it. It was a model, and it had several ramps and constructions. This is something that someone other than an enthusiast or Albert himself wouldn't know. But there are 3 ramps which led up to the train. One at the rear, one in the middle carriage, and one at the front carriage. And he kind of makes a shape to show you with his hands like what it would look like. Just basic ramp which would lead up to it. The model was constructed so with easy access for people to see it, and it was a toy as well, a famous toy. Lots of shops have this model of toy in them. In fact, I bought one recently.
Right. So you would know how to lay this out. So you know how it's supposed to be laid out. So why don't you adjust it so it's as it's supposed to be?
I don't know if I want to speak with him. I think he's insane, and I don't think that's the answer to getting off this train.
He's
I think he's just a
definitely
madman.
insane, but you generally go with what the insane person wants, so he doesn't eat you.
So what do you think is the way to get off this train?
Well, we'll have to jump, won't we? We'll have to jump because he's a madman and he's got a gun.
You haven't tried to jump yet?
Have you seen the speed this thing's going at?
Well, exactly. So while we wait for the train to stop, what's the harm in just changing the model.
He says, fine, if you can watch him for me.
Yes. We'll be fine. We'll keep him busy while you do it. Don't worry.
You do your model, Henry. He ain't gonna do nothing to you.
Yeah.
I
Very well. And you see the madman, Alexis. Why is he touching it? What's he doing?
Oh, I think he figured out the thing that you were having problems with, and he's going to fix it.
I walk up to him and I say, listen, we need you to get a bird's eye view of this whole thing. You're the conductor. You are in charge. We need you up. We need you up on one of these chairs here. We need you looking down, making sure he doesn't screw this up. But we're gonna let him do his thing, and you watch. You just keep a watch on him. Keep your eyes on him.
Good,
and then
good.
we'll watch you, and you watch him, and we'll watch each other, and we'll count the ticks.
Good. Yes. And you see Henry Stanley started like remodel some of it, and he's just like gagging, like he vomits a bit as he's like moving these things around, and he looks up with a look of like such dread and foreboding, and he says, "There's not enough.
Not enough what?
Not enough parts.
Not enough parts to build an accurate representation. We need more parts."
Could we use anything? There's plenty of stuff around here. Surely we can use...
There's an awful lot of bones over there.
Yeah, you see Alexis. It has to be done like this. It has to be done for the spell to be complete, for the ritual to be complete. We need living tissue.
Okay, so who's for jumping off this train?
That's starting to sound like a better idea.
Jump! You can't jump. You can't jump. You don't know what will happen if you jump. We're not on Earth. You don't know where you'll go.
We're not on Earth. We can't jump. And I turn to the conductor and I say, listen, between you and me, how are you eating around here? Where do you get your food? I've seen the bones. Where do you get them?
A man has to eat.
I agree. I'm with you. Where do you... Are you going to get them from us, or do other people stumble on here?
Yeah, he says, well, people bring me food. People bring me food. Yes, passengers bring me food.
Well, and those passengers are the food, right? Between you and me, they're the food, right?
He like shakes his head and he kind of shrugs and says, "A man has to eat."
A man has to eat. He has to count the ticks. He has to have the energy to count the ticks. I got you.
Man has to count the ticks. Form pattern and you see the glass of the windows fog up, grey.
Right.
No longer outside do you see London. Now what you see outside is a grey void, and you see that there are tiny little constellations in the distance, and there's a cosmos, a grey void of cosmos around you, and he says, the second surge, good, and he ticks on the ceiling.
Good, count them ticks. I turn around to everybody and I say, plug your ears.
Oh, what? Oh dear.
He plugs his ears.
Good. That's real good.
I make sure that everyone's looking the other way.
I pull one of his fingers out of his ear and I say, and the food comes from the passengers that get on here. I want to make sure of that.
The passengers, they come. They after the second surge, they will come. They will come. We'll need to defend against them, you see, because the ritual needs to be done. And the other passengers don't want us to leave. They want us to stay. They want us to stay here. They don't want us to go back to Earth. We have to get back there. We have to get back.
Oh. I almost made a terrible mistake. You're saying the other passengers come in here. They become the food. And they're trying to kill us.
Yes, I've got a gun. There are 2 shots left. 4 of them have been used. 4 of them have been food.
But they're part of this, right? They're part of the train, right?
Yes.
Great.
But we've got 2 more left. 2 more shots. And we need to complete the ritual. We need more. We need 2 more.
Okay, and they're coming. Second surge. We got a tick.
Second surge, we have a tick. They'll come.
Okay. Boy, you explained that just in time, buddy.
He like takes his finger out of his over ear. Good.
Yeah, you guys can take your fingers out of your ears. We've made them. We figured this all out.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Aye, alright.
The good news is, we're gonna have people coming in here to try to kill us.
What?
Bad news is, we can kill them and make the stuff out of them. Or, if one of us dies, you can finish it. You got my blessing.
I don't mind. That doesn't seem like good luck to me. None of that seems like good luck to me.
Yeah, that seems pretty terrible.
Potato, potato.
As
I mean,
I
I
say,
am
as
an organ donor.
I'm sketching out the diagram into her notebook too, so that way she can have a reference.
Nice.
It gets like smeared into
Yeah, Henry Stanley sits back down after having, thrown up whatever was left in his guts, and he's like, "This is insane." And he's rubbed his hand across his face, but there's now blood where he did that, and he kind of like dry heaves again because there's nothing left for him to kind of like throw up.
Here's an handkerchief. You can just wipe that off. There you go.
What Henry threw up, is it regular food or is it piece of meat?
It does. If you want to inspect the contents of Henry's sick, then it would appear to be normal food.
Okay. Want to make sure we didn't have another cannibal.
Yeah. And so the grey void around you turns darker, and there's a shunt, as if the carriage has just suddenly stopped and then moved forwards very quickly. And just kind of jumps you all forwards, and you see Alexis say, the third surge, tick. And at that point, there's this bash on the door, and you look over to the door, and there's a kind of pane of glass which is slightly clouded over, but you can still see through it. And you see that there are people, the people from before, who are clawing at the door with their almost dead-like hands, and they're just like crawling and trying to break their way through. And there is a whole lot of them coming from the door.
I turn to the conductor. I'm like, can they get in here?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Usually I hide.
Oh, usually. Then what happens? They just leave?
He nods frantically. And one of the, underneath one of the tables in the compartments, he shows you there's like a hidden, there's like a secret storage place, basically. Each carriage is one of these. And he dives into it and locks it down on himself. So he's basically hidden in a mini coffin. He leaves the gun behind, though. Good luck!
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Listen, there's only one of these in each car, right?
Hey, listen, everybody. When he climbs back up, plug your ears.
Alright.
Right.
I guess we should each grab something to defend ourselves with. You've got a gun already.
Yeah, I got two.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
We got his gun, which I'm thinking is the only thing that's going to kill these things. And we got my two, which seem to pass through shit.
Alright, well you should probably be using his gun then.
Yes, that might be a good idea.
And she looks for like a very hefty bone or something with. She's like,
Yeah,
"Ah."
I'm gonna find something that I can hit them with, just in case.
Well, if I'm getting the gun that came with the conductor, I've got my two other guns. So he has the 44, which is a much bigger gun, and the 38, which is a much smaller gun. And he walks up and he looks at Nancy and gives her the bigger gun and gives the smaller gun to Harvey.
It's a good thing I don't like guns, because I would have said no anyway.
Oh. Thank you.
Oh, I can work with this.
It's
He
smaller
turns-
than my
He turns
service.
to Evelyn and he goes, she's a cop and I don't know.
I understand.
What? Okay.
So there are
Should-
10 or so men and women with these kind of blank pupils who are busting through the door. It's only wide enough for two of them abreast in the carriage, but the first hand breaks its way through the glass. Seems like these guys can definitely destroy the interior of the train here.
Do I have time to run up and take one shot into them as they're kind of before they break through?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Nancy just readies herself with the bigger gun.
I have a bone.
All right, so yeah, Pat, you can get a shot off into the first passenger.
Okay, I'm super nervous. I don't know why. I shouldn't be, but I am. Okay.
It's because you're all gonna go crazy.
There you go. You're fine.
Yeah, I did it. I did it.
All right, so is that a success?
It is, sir.
Success, fantastic. So yeah, you kind of pop off this one shot into the face of the first guy who falls down to the floor. You don't see his body because it seems as though the body is no longer there. It seems like it disappears after he falls.
I knew it.
Yeah, he just kind of like slumps down and then sucked away from the outside of this carriage. And you hear a muffled sound from the
Conductor.
The conductor, and he's saying,
Yes, you just finished it in the carriage. I sealed it in here, you see? Doesn't look outside.
and then they burst through.
Okay.
And the kind of seals on their magic, or whatever it is, binding them, seem to loosen somewhat, and they kind of like lurch into the compartment. So I know Pat is first up. Who's kind of backing up Pat here?
As a gentleman, I would go in front of the ladies. That was the way, so I probably would be next to him. Although I'm pretty sure Nancy can handle herself way better than Harvey.
I was gonna say, if Pat gets a vote, can Nancy be behind me?
Yeah. But the gentlemanly thing to do is to ensure that the woman is behind him. I mean, Nancy can.
She'll let Harvey take a shot next because
Y'all can protect me any day.
How well he does.
Oh, I'm not,
If he's not doing too well, she's gonna shove him away. She'll be like,
I'm not,
all right,
I'm
let
not
me.
very good with pistols.
I'm not either. It's okay.
Oh, I hit.
Oh, damn, Sam. Harvey, describe to me how you kill all of the passengers, and their body is going to remain here. It seems like whatever Alexis has done, he's managed to seal in things into this room.
I stand next to Pat and just basically extend the. Is it a revolver?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a revolver, and just take a single shot that hits. Because they're probably not that far away from me, so it probably hits them straight in the head as it falls down.
Yeah, you shoot this woman with no pupils in 1890s garb straight in the head. She falls over dead. Nancy, what are you doing?
All right. Well, I'm gonna line up a shot too. Is this a revolver as well, or is this?
It's a big ass revolver, yeah.
Oh, big ass revolver. All right.
Take out 3 of them.
Oh man, God, what's the character from The Mummy? Like, I just imagine Pat as the main hero from The Mummy, with all of these different guns that he gives to people.
I succeed.
Yeah, oh, nice. Nancy, you're expecting more resistance from these people, but they really go down. Like, how do you want to kill this person?
She was gonna try to line up to get like 2 heads with one, but it's a big gun.
Yeah.
She's just basically going for like a hit shot.
Yeah. Brains explode around the carriage as you pop off a shot, and the third member of the party falls behind and down onto the ground. 3 bodies now on the floor. Evelyn, you've just watched 3 people be murdered in front of you, and you definitely are hard of hearing right now.
Oh yeah, we're probably all like.
Yeah.
We're in a very like compacted area.
Yeah, you're in a train compartment.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Pat's like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
She doesn't do combat. It's just not a thing that she does.
Yeah.
She's not used to violence. So she's already like shaky, like having the bone in her hand. She's just like, So I guess she would try to take a swing at one, maybe. I don't know.
One's like, you can say one's coming towards you and you don't have it, like you're backing up as far as you can go, and then like he's got you backed against a corner, so you have to lash out.
Yeah. What is?
It'd be a fighting brawl, I believe. So just a D100, we'll see.
Oh, no matter what it was.
So like you're like you hit out with your like this protuberance of bone, which you realize to be human, as you kind of just like lurches towards you, not saying anything, eyes wide open and just blank white eyes staring at you. Okay, so these guys are going to do some stuff, and they're going to lurch towards each of you. Harvey, you, my friend, let's see. He succeeds on clawing at you. And basically, he's going to grab your face and try and blind you by pushing in his thumbs into your eyeballs and to turn them to jelly. And it just grasps you and comes in at you. You're going to take 4 damage.
Bloody hell.
As it happens. You're not blinded, but your eyes are in severe agony right now. So you're deafened and just screaming out as you feel your eyes just being kind of pressed in forcibly, and you're kind of grappling with this guy as he's got your hands. You've got the gun still in your hand as well. Pat, the woman is going to lurch towards you and just try and grab your tongue, you think is what she's going for. She's trying to get into your mouth and pull out your tongue. She rolled a 100, which is a spectacular fail. So, Pat, you get a chance to kill this woman as she comes in towards you. Just tries to grab your tongue. How do you dispatch her?
Well, I'm going to try to diplomacy. I'd like to talk to her. I'm kidding. Just boom, right in the face.
Yeah. She just lurches with a silent grasp towards your tongue, and you just like...
Wait, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that I can shoot the one that's on Harvey and take the gun out of my gun out of Harvey's hand?
Yeah.
I'll still have that one in front of me, but I'll get rid of Harvey's.
Okay. So you want to shoot the guy that's on Harvey, pressing in his eyeballs, and you want to take Harvey's gun from him?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Harvey's like clutching at his eyes right now, deaf and blind. Pat shoots the guy on him whilst the woman just misses to grab at his tongue, and also takes the revolver from Harvey. He's now dual-wielding revolvers, and it's pretty badass. So, one's going to come in on Nancy.
The conductor.
You can start pistol whipping them, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
One of them lurches in at you, Nancy, but doesn't manage to.
Off me, you bugger.
Yeah, I get a grasp. You slap it away. And the one coming in on Evelyn is going to attack her, but on a 77, he misses as well. And he basically lurched in towards you, and he's going to grab your throat, Evelyn, and he's going to hold you up and just try and constrict you.
No.
No. So yeah, you managed to like bam away with the bone that you've got in your hand. Harvey, you're kind of like semi-blinded, bit deafened right now, and your gun has been taken out of your hand somehow.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna try and like push away.
Use the fisticuffs like I showed you, Harvey.
I can't see, I'm deaf, all my senses have gone.
Yeah.
I'm essentially just kind of like going like that at the moment. Just punching, lashing out. I'm not really making any. I'm basically just defending myself, so if anything comes close, I just slap it away, yeah.
Okay, you can roll me a fighting brawl.
Yeah, sure, why not? Although I'm not very good at it.
Always worth a try.
Oh, I succeed!
Oh, that's pretty good.
I've been rolling really low.
That's pretty good. So, this is going to be a brutal one, because Harvey's just using his hands. But how is Harvey going to kill someone using his
basically,
hands?
he's going to be blinded. He's not going to see, and one of these creatures comes up to him, and he manages to feel around like their face and able to push them down. And basically, he just starts squeezing and squeezing and squeezing.
Nice.
And basically, it's just pure adrenaline at the moment.
Yeah.
He's just
You just go into a
like
feral
that,
mode,
and then-
basically, yeah.
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 This is, until he's probably fortunate he's not seeing himself doing it. He can
Yeah.
feel it. But...
Yeah. You, she kind of like looks up as you kind of like strangle her. She doesn't have any like pupils, but you can tell she's just like breathlessly passing away as you constrict the throat until there's, no signs of life coming from her. And as it happens, you hear the sound of your own heartbeat as the adrenaline is just like rushing through you, and you kind of come to realize what you've done. Pat, you've got 2 revolvers in hand, and you've still got 5 people coming towards you.
Okay, well, I look down at Harvey and I say, "Hey, way to do it, Ascot, get some." And I turned around, I said, "Let's get him, whiskey." And I just Go with
Nice.
both.
Get a whiskey. I like it.
A Scott whiskey.
So you can roll twice. Nice. So, a bang and a bang resonate through the chamber as two more slump dead. And they're just these three, just like lurching through the door towards you. They just go down. Perfect headshots from Pat. Just absolutely no hesitation as he cuts them down. Fantastic. Nancy, you got three of these guys left. One of them is still on Evelyn.
Yeah, one of them's like up on me, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I want the bastard off of me first. I'm sorry, Evelyn, but you know, a girl's gotta look out for herself. So,
I understand.
I'm gonna try to shoot at him. Oh, that's unfortunately a fail.
Ah, damn. So, you try and get a shot off, but he's kind of grappling you to the ground.
So close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you could use luck if you wanted to.
Ooh, I could. It's so close. It's so close to success. Yeah, I'll use a little luck just because I don't want to get eaten. So, let's see. Yeah, I'll use. Math is hard.
Math is so hard.
8 points of luck. That's what it would take to be a success.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So you burn the luck, and Nancy's just like trying to. It's that situation where he's got you grappled and the gun is just out of your reach, and you can't quite get towards it. And you just managed to roll, get the gun, turn it on, and bang! And his brains are all over you, and he slumps dead on top of you. Evelyn, there is still this guy coming towards you, trying to like just constrict your throat right now.
I'm gonna try to like kick the legs. It's like to try to like get it.
Yeah, get him on the ground.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Is that a fail?
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone's just like,
Not good at this.
trying to fight against this creature, this person, and you can't quite get on it. Harvey, you see that Evelyn's in trouble, and your heart is just going wild right now. Adrenaline rushing through your body.
I leap on the one that's attacking Evelyn. I just leap on it, and again go to try and strangle it, I guess. Or no, I try and throw it off more than anything.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Stick up hard, be like I showed ya.
Yeah, you hear a muffled from the compartment as you dive at it. So give me a fighting brawl.
Oh, I pass again.
Oh,
bloody hell! I'm
So-
adrenaline
I told you these lessons would
pumping.
pay off, Harvey. You
Yeah.
did not listen to me.
So like Harvey, you go to throw him off, but you find yourself just raging on top of this person. You just oval them whilst they're on the floor, and you punch and you punch and you punch. You just don't stop punching until you pummels in their face, and you hear the sickening crunch of the cranium breaking as you just break something really vital, and they just stop moving, and your hands are covered and your arms are covered in blood, and all of your suit is ragged with blood as you have just, you don't know how long you've been doing this for, and you just kind of like come out of this berserk rage as Pat sees one last figure coming towards them, and he's got those two pistols that are ready.
Well, I want to turn around, and if I can make this work, I want to do it. I want to see Harvey pounded into that thing.
Yeah.
And I just like to be, if the thing's coming in from this direction and Harvey's here, I'd be like, Ascot, that's some good work. And just boom.
Yeah.
The movie shot.
The movie shot, yeah. No,
And
very
watch
horrible.
this. Critical fail.
It doesn't look.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Close enough.
It's so,
Never should have done it.
so Pat gives you awesome one-liner, and then it's a click, and then nothing comes
And
out.
And I fired,
Oh!
I
And
fired
no-
the other guy.
yeah, and then that's a critical hit on a
Oh,
1.
yeah.
That is the best
That's when
possible
you're like, I forgot I was left-handed.
roll. Yeah.
I-
So, Pat just click, awkward moment, and then just dives, does a backflip, shoots the guy, whatever, and just dispatches
I don't
the
do backflips.
dispatches the person. There are now 10 dead people in the room, and everybody can roll me a sanity check after what
Okay,
they've just
please
done.
Technically, there's 9.
That's true.
Not that it makes much of a difference, but technically.
Surprisingly, I pass.
Well,
Do I need a sanity check?
Oh, that's wrong. Don't ignore that.
I'm gonna ask Pat to roll one because there's something just inhuman about these people.
Oh, that's
There's
cool.
Very
I just
wrong
I
with it.
pass.
Woo!
Oh,
It's a
Oh,
success.
Everybody succeeds.
So
Everybody
everyone-
succeeds.
Everyone
Yeah.
succeeded. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Harvey, you just feel like the beating of your heart just managed to subside in your chest, and you kind of come back round. You see the devastation around you, and you look at the caved-in face of the man that you've killed and the woman who you throttled. And you see the conductor Alexis just pop out from his little compartment and says, "Oh, good. That's more than enough. Excellent. I should keep you around. There are more of them. They keep coming. We could have lots of them. We would eat for weeks."
I'm reloading.
Many ticks, and he ticks another one.
She goes and closes like the door they like open to get here through here.
Yeah. And you see that where the door was broken in twain, there is it's now been reformed. And as Henry puts the puzzle back into place, with the organs which are lying on the floor, the pieces of offal, you see Alexis just grin madly, and he says, "Now it's time for stage 3!" And everything goes black. And that is where we're wrapping up tonight's episode. Of Call of Cthulhu, everybody.
Victory!
Oh, God.
Nice
Man,
job,
oh,
brother.
man.
Nice.
Oh, such a cliffhanger ending.
So, yeah, that's what we're going to be wrapping up tonight's show. I got carried away and we went a little bit over time than I actually meant to, but hey, that was a fun time. If you guys enjoyed this session, then please do let us know in chat. And we're going to start our next show now, which is Tyrant's Thrall, a D&D 5e new campaign about to start here in a few seconds' time. So let's whip around. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start up top with Redundant.
As always, I had an absolute blast. Fantastic. Harvey has turned into a psychopath. Apparently, he just kills people for a living, even though he has very limited military experience. Apparently, he does. So I got very lucky with that, and that's going to have some consequences with his psyche when he gets back. He's not that type of person. But yeah, it was great fun, and I can't wait till next week.
Fantastic.
Myself, I'm Redundant UK on Twitter and Twitch. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Redundant UK. I'm a variety streamer. I stream Monday to Fridays at 10 a.m. GMT and 5 a.m. EST, I think.
Sounds
And at the moment I'm currently playing The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. You can also check me out in Encounter Roleplay, where I moderate.
Awesome. Let's go to Greg.
My name's Greg. I played Pat. You can find me on Twitter at Gregory, and it looks like Saint Angel. And I talk about all kinds of nerd stuff.
Awesome.
So it's older nerd stuff.
Fantastic.
I'm like right between Lando Calrissian and Obi-Wan age.
Oh wow, that's the perfect balance. Fantastic, Lindy.
All right. So much fun. Loving this new character. She's way different than Ruby, like last season. I'm looking forward to this crazy train stuff. But you can find me on Twitch at LapLoveLindy. And I stream Dungeons & Dragons. I'll be streaming later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Finale of Curse of Strahd. Next week I'll be starting on the Abyss. I'm also streaming some Mass Effect, and totally addicted to that. So there's probably going to be a good bit of Mass Effect going on later this week.
Nice. Awesome. Haley.
So, yeah, I'm a terrible liar and a terrible fighter, so she's just not good. She's not good company, apparently. But I had fun. I am the Great Healy on all the social medias, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, yada, yada, yada. I am also playing Witcher 3. But I stream, like, real late at 8:30 p.m. Central. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So, when one stops, the other begins. Fantastic. So if you want to see more Call of Cthulhu horror on the Orient Express, I'll mention we're not even on the Orient Express yet, and there's a lot of horror still to come. So look forward to that. But same time next week for that, and of course we're going to head into our next campaign, Tyrant's Thrall, starting here in just a few seconds. it's farewell from the Call of Cthulhu cast of the Orient Express. Good night, everybody. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, guys, you are clear, Zoom people? Alright, everybody, time to head into our next show, Tyrant's Thrall, in which I will be playing... God, what am I playing? I've forgotten now. A druid, I'm pretty sure. A druid. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a whole day since I made this character, so my memory is not as good as it could be. But yeah, next session starting here. I've got a tweet for you guys. A couple of minutes time, the next game begins. Let me find... What am I doing? Tyrant's Thrall. That's what I want. My tyrants. My thralls. Fantastic. Fader Redundant for the retweet, as well as Terminally Nerdy, Tall Squall. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Hey, Fader Magic Wood Elf for following a gentleman and a scholar. Welcome, man. What's up, Sean Basil? No worries, Ape. We're next game is just beginning. You guys don't go anywhere. Another campaign about to begin. New campaign, episode 1. Thank you to Wolf Strike for the retweet. Elf Ranger. I don't know if I'm playing an Elf Ranger. Something about me tells me that I'm probably not playing an Elf Ranger. I can't quite put my finger on it. I'll think more on that one. I'm pretty sure, and let me check. Let me check Sly's channel. I think I'm on Sly Flourish's channel tonight. It's either tonight or next week. I'm terrible with this. There must be a date here. It's either today or tomorrow. Or next week. Whatever. Magic Wood Elf is a girl. Lol. Fuck him. All are equal. All are equal. May 2nd. Not this week, next week. Nailed it. I know science and maths. Oh, I should do that. Ah, fantastic. I get an evening off. Fader Shalom and Louise for the retweets. Joe Ranger, pretty sure. Yeah, oh, that's it, the pet black tiger. Ah, yep, the tiger. How could I forget? Man, that was silly of me. In fact, all of the carriage sheets are here. Fader Sham Basils for subscribing to Twitch Prime. A gentleman and a scholar. Salute you, sir. Welcome in. Let's raise some drinks in chat, everybody. Also, time to go thank everybody who has followed today. Thank you Sasamojo, Rock the Dog, Carriage Hen, Catskin, DK Bib, Yamases, Appearances, Camerajan, Yamusi, Felicity, Bridge to Peace, Mezasta, El Ginge, Ascension Stories, Lindsay Baseball, Be Silly, and Kiakt for following. Thank you guys. Fader Akam for the retweet as well. Tree Pelt. Rakshasa. Oh man, if I played a Rakshasa sometime, I'd be so down for that. Like, secretly playing a Rakshasa. Hey, London. What's up, Reston? Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Fader to Desiree for the retweet. What's up, Desiree? How you doing? How you doing? Let me start getting cameras ready like I should. Oh, we got a sweet map for this one as well. Exciting. Pretty sure Louise made this map, which is awesome. How do I roll 20? That's how I roll 20. By clicking on it. Ha, who'da funk. Thank you to Haley for the retweet. Thanks, Greg. Pretend you're a catfolk, but secretly play a Rakshasa. My players no crew. That's awesome, man. I'll Wreck-It Ralph was a bunch of misunderstood bad guys who go about trying to rehabilitate their reputation. I like the sound of that campaign. I'd be about that. Let me set up my overlay here. How you doing, Sue? Haley really wants to play a superhero game. She's been pestering me to play a superhero game for ages, so had to get onto that. Have fun at work. Rakshasa, you can never die unless things kill you in a respawning place. Is that how Rakshasa works?